Communists in the house. Buckle your seatbelts. Buckle your seatbelts. Yes, yes, yes. She's back again. We're going to get down in it. I'm not going to waste no time talking. Empress Ella G is here. Sister Nina's here. She got the gloves on. She's in the corner. She's waiting to come out swinging. She's got the power. Sister Nina, the things you told me today, I'm in the audience watching the fight, and I'll be ducking, okay? So talk to us, sister. How are you feeling tonight?
I am feeling great, and hi to everyone who is here and participating. And I'm just enjoying you guys' energy that you would even tune in to higher consciousness.
Yes.
And I truly do appreciate you guys for being here, because as you all know, that the ones who are giving out the information are the chosen ones. I know you all know this already. And what they mean when they say the chosen ones is that because they are high energy, they're able to project what needs to be told more. They're strong spirits, and the vibration of their spirits are already high. But without further ado, I have to roast this troll. I have to do it. So this punk, Anthony Banks, he said, this dude said he is in Mortal Kombat, and he commented again, and he said, this super weird, this male speaking, not a female. I may be wrong, but I can hear it in his or her voice. First of all, pussy, Tootsie Roll Pop. Because if they lift your ass upside down and drop your stupid ass on your head, the only thing is going to fall out is some motherfucking Tootsie Rolls with your weak ass. So that's number one. Now, you said all of this shit that you said up here talking about who's this. It doesn't matter if you're a fucking man or a woman. I thought I said the last time that if you're still on the whole who is a man, who is a woman, if you're still connected to the whole physical thing and you're not vibrating high and talking about frequency, bitch, you don't need to be here. You are a hindrance, you're a troll, you're a bot. Straight like that. You are a motherfucking bot. And truth be told, real men don't talk shit like that, especially when someone is actually giving you the knowledge, because you should be more so worried about that than who is what. None of that shit really matters, because if you really want to talk about who's a man and who's a woman, technically you would be the bitch, because the last time I motherfucking checked, the black men were conquered. The last time I checked, I don't know what the fuck you saying, but at the end of the day, this is the motherfucking matrix, okay? And so for you, you should not be talking, get that dildo out your ass is what you need to do, because this is not the show for low vibrating ass energy like you. You coming in here, we talking about some energy, what we truly are, and you want to talk about, it ain't a man and a woman. Do you know how fucking stupid you sound? Don't nobody want to hear that shit. That shit is old, tired, and played. It's old, tired, and played. You are a motherfucking Tootsie Roll Pop waiting to be lit like a bitch. Okay? So he says, I was putting in here, Anthony Banks' low vibrating punk ass. When you come into the reality, they give you a set program of male and female. Like pink is for girls, blue is for boys. But in all truth, none of that really matters, because the spirit is still going to manifest and express itself the way it's going to express itself regardless. So you will be basically programmed. You're a programmed punk ass bot. So you need to be blocked, because we don't need your energy hindering the message. So that's all you're doing. You're just hindering the message. Nobody give a fuck about what you believe, because the whole thing about Mortal Kombat, dumbass, if you know the whole history about everything, like I do, for instance, since you want to get into all of this, for instance, Baron Samedi. Baron Samedi is he is a part of the African powers. There are initially 7 African direct powers, and we should all be familiar with them by now. Within the New Orleans Pantheon, there is one all should know of Baron Samedi. He is the ultimate suave and sophisticated spirit of death. He guards over the crossroads and protector of the children. He is the Lord of death. He, as well as the new generation of gods, like me, is also depicted in games as well. I ought to know. I play him all the time in the game called Smite.
Let me just really quick, Sister Danielle, your mouth might be a little too close to the mic. I'm echoing when I talk. I'm quiet, so don't worry about that. Just pull your mouth a little bit more away.
Okay, what about now?
Yeah. Say something. Perfect.
So when I say that Baron Samedi is one of the lows, he guards over the crossroads, and if you are familiar with any of these African powers and these deities, if you are in touch and you're in tap into the spiritual realm, you can ask them who I am. They know who I am. So nobody has to. If you really want to know, dumbass, the only reason why you're not chosen because your weak ass energy. That's why. Just like how Lance come up here and he puts on this show. Do you think he want to hear your garbage ass, punk ass mouth, and he trying to put out a message? And you come in here with that low vibrating shit. Don't nobody want to hear that. Because truth be told, If you was around me, I would smack the shit out of you. Really. I really would. So I just had to address this punk ass nigga because I'm gonna tell it how it is. I'm raw with mine. I don't bite my damn tongue. I never did, and I ain't about to start. So you might as well not even come in here and put no more comments. Nobody want to hear that bullshit. Because the truth be told, whether it's a man or a woman, it's still gonna have the insane result. If I was around you, I would fuck you up. It's just that simple. Because you would not be saying all that around me. Because I would shut you down.
100% true.
So when we talk about, first of all, I want to say this to everyone. When the title of it is this, is do you know where you are? And there is a reason why. There is a reason why I put this in the tag and in the banner that I wanted Lance to make, because I don't think that most people are aware of where they are. Like, I don't think that they are truly aware of where they think they are. I had another comment where this female, she says mosquitoes are drones, whatever, lady. Flies been here forever. Yeah, but have you ever really looked at a fly? Why do you think their eyes are so big? They're a camera. And they carry parasites. Parasites are not organic to this reality. I don't know what you're thinking. They're not. Parasites are not organic to this reality. Parasites have to feed off of something, just like the archons. If you're not, this is another thing. If you're not going to do the research, you might as well just sit here and just take what they give you. Don't complain about it and shut the fuck up. What are you here for if you are just going to sit here, don't use your mind, don't use don't do the research, and you're just going to insult the information that you don't know nothing about? This is why the tag says, do you know where you are? This is the matrix. Period. This is the matrix. It doesn't matter if you think it's a whole bunch of hogwash, because the thing of it is that, like I said before, if you come into this reality, your first question needs to be, why am I here? If your question is not that, then you might as well just lay your life down and just let them walk and stomp all over you. You think all of the chosen ones are out here giving you all this knowledge, and you think that it's fake just because you look at Mortal Kombat as a game? But those characters all have symbology behind them. There is a character in there called Reptile. He would be symbology of the reptoids, the Dracos. I'm sure you don't know about that. There's another character called Devora. She would be from the galaxy Andromeda, and she represents the insectoids.
Danina,
Yes.
I think you wound up getting back a little too close to the
Oh, okay. Yeah, it came. Sorry. What about now?
yeah.
Is it too close now? Or
No, it's good now. It's good now.
okay. So what I was saying is that all of those characters in Mortal Kombat are symbology of something. As I said, Reptile in the game he would be symbology of the Dracos. Devora is symbology of the insectoids from the galaxy Andromeda. But if you don't know, Sindel herself would be Tiamat. And if you know anything about Tiamat, you wouldn't be calling this Earth that you call planet Earth Earth. This is not planet Earth. This is planet Tiamat, the water planet. Why you see all the water around everywhere. But obviously, you didn't do your goddamn research, now did you? Why you sitting here trying to tell me about what the hell I know? You don't even know where you are, you jackass. And he knows who I'm talking to, if he is listening. So I think that most of us, if you're going to be here, if you're going to be in this space, We are not using and wasting our energy for nothing. This is an actual true awakening. These things are actually happening. I don't know what someone could tell you or how to convince you that this is actually going on other than seeing it for yourself and actually doing the research. You have to do the research if you want to find out the answers too. You don't have to trust what someone tells you. But Lance and Empress LOG both seen the picture that I gave them, and it was as raw as I could possibly get. There's no makeup in it. There's none of that. Do I not have the features of that particular character that I showed you all?
You sure do.
Same eyes, same forehead, same cheekbones, everything. And the thing is that, do you think I would be as raw as I am if I wasn't a fighting spirit?
Oh no.
That ought to tell you right there. But clearly you're not using common sense because you have maggots for brains. Like, we have to come to an understanding of where we are. Stop playing. This is not a game. They are basically, if you only knew the horror of what is happening behind you, you would not be saying that. You really wouldn't. You wouldn't be. Your mind would be focused on who and what you are. Because I'm telling you, you can sit here and waste time if you want to, but in the end, when you die, and you done wasted your time and you didn't learn, you didn't do no motherfucking research, your soul, your spirit is going to be stripped of all its memories, and your ass is going to be reincarnated into this shithole again. That's what's going to happen to you. You think this is a game? This is not a game. They are taking people's souls. They are consuming people's souls. They're stripping them of all their memories. The archons don't give a fuck about you. I'm telling you. They sit here and they laugh at you. I know because I live with one. How you think I know all the goddamn information? So I'm telling you what they think about you. They think nothing of you. Nothing. They think that you are a peon and a slave, and that you are meant to be walked over. This is what they think of you. This is why the tag says, do you know where you are? Just that tag alone has so much meaning behind it. You don't know where you are. The reason why I'm a Titan spirit is because I have high energy and my vibration is high. And if you can't tell that, then clearly you're not a good judge of character, because no one should have to show you no fucking face and no fucking image, because if you're still connected on the physical, you're vibrating too low. That's why you don't get it. That's why you don't understand. You're vibrating too low. You're not even the avatar. That's the thing. You're not even the avatar. Behind the avatar, you are an energy vibrating. When you look at the sun turns black, dark matter energy. This is planet Tiamat, the water planet. If you've done the research about Tiamat, Tiamat was known as a dragon. And what's being presented? Well, Star Wars is not. Star Wars is very old, but Star Wars is basically telling you. Star Wars is basically telling you that it's they're making clones out of the spirits, basically, and they're building. The Empire was building up an army to try to take over the cosmos, basically, which is where you get programmed here in the Matrix. And they program you with a bunch of bullshit that doesn't mean anything. And that's all your mind will be stuck with, is the bullshit. You won't know shit. They ain't even gonna tell you who you truly really are. They don't want you to know that. So you would be a clone. You would literally be a clone. Because if all you think that exists is just this reality, you're a fucking moron. I hate to tell you. You're a fucking moron. Because truth be told, if you're living in this reality and you actually think that this is life and you really want to be here, you have a supreme, utter cognitive dissonance. I hate to shatter your reality, but baby, when this is over and you die, when your avatar is no more, your spirit is going to mourn, honey. And it's going to be too motherfucking late. Your spirit is going to mourn while you sitting here thinking we all telling you all of this information, because it's not only just me. It's many of us out there giving you all jewels and diamonds. It's what are you going to do with them? And as I was finished saying about Tiamat, Tiamat was a dragon. And the thing about Tiamat was loud as hell and disrespectful. They all know her to be disrespectful as hell. And I am literally the spitting image of her. So when you say Mother Nature is Tiamat. And she knows exactly who I am. I'm a direct part of her. I'm just like her. I know exactly who she is, and she knows exactly who I am. And if you are tapped into the spiritual world and the astral, you can ask those spirits if I'm telling the truth. They'll tell you. I don't have to lie. I don't lie about anything. They will tell you. Because remember, a time before this, women did not need men to procreate. They did it on their own. Men came later. So essentially, men are really not needed. Technically, if you really want to speak facts, that's facts. This was a female planet. I don't know what the fuck you thought, honey, but the only reason why men are here and they have all this boastful ass energy is because of punk ass Marduk. Because he wanted to be Tiamat. He wanted to be the supreme. He wanted to be the most high. That's the only reason why this male chauvinist shit is going on. Men, the last time I checked, men don't give birth. They don't. And even though we know that behind the reality is just energy, but the females are stargates and men are not that. Men have a fertilizer. That's it. So I don't know where all of this shit is where a woman is supposed to serve a man. Men are supposed to be there to protect and motherfucking serve. Point blank, period. Well, I do have a dislike for men because I don't trust them. And that's the truth. I don't trust them. I'm not saying for all of them, because some men are good, but the mass majority of them are no good. And the reason why I say that, because if they were, we wouldn't be living this reality now, would we? Women should not be under subjugation. The only reason, especially the black women, the Latinos, the only reason why they're under subjugation is because of the man that's subjugated. If he breaks out of his subjugation, the women won't be under subjugation anymore. True. But it's the man. It's the men that are the problem. Period. I'm not gonna bite my tongue and sugarcoat this shit for you. I'm gonna say it how I feel it, how it is, and what I see. The men are the problem, and not all of them, but the ones that do right. They're like a handful out of the majority. The rest of them ain't worth shit. And that's a fact. He get up here and talk about if you a man or woman. Like, my nigga, do you realize where the fuck you are while you still talking about that shit? Don't nobody give a fuck about that. That shit is old, tied, and played. It's played. It's what your mind should be is, this white man, I have to go and clock in for him. I gotta tolerate his shit, and at any given time, this motherfucker can tell me, I'm gonna let your motherfucking ass go, and everything that you work for is gone down the motherfucking drain, and you don't know where your next motherfucking meal coming from, because the last time I motherfucking checked, a job means just ass over broke. So I don't know where the fuck you think you at, honey. But this is the Matrix. And if you want to change it, you have to man the fuck up. Because war brings motherfucking peace. The last time I checked. So stop with this. A lot of them, oh, well, do you want us to fight the white man? Hell, motherfucking yeah, he's fighting you. They're fighting you. So, like, I just don't understand. They showed you the fact that they can show you this shit on TV. They can show you this on these programming devices. And they can show you that they don't give a fuck about you. But you still standing here sitting and you going along with this shit. That's why I don't get the men. When I first came in this reality, I questioned them because they're not real men. Because before men even came into existence, there were motherfucking warrior women. Did you check about the Amazonians? Did you do your research on that? Because they will whoop your ass as a man. You could be a man. There's women now will beat a man's ass. Women have been programmed to be nice, to be submissive to a man. No, fuck that. If they don't motherfucking earn it, don't give it to them freely. They need to earn your submission. Because the last time I checked within our community, women take care of the motherfucking men. And it's supposed to be the opposite. So you want to sit here and call yourself a man and all that? You ain't no motherfucking man. Your ass is a Tootsie Roll, baby. A Tootsie Roll pop ready to be licked like a bitch. So again, this is the Matrix. This is not what you think it is. This is planet Tiamat that has been invaded and taken over by the so-called demigod, because I don't look at him as a god. He is Zeus. He is Jesus. He is Jesus. He is Marduk. He is what y'all call Satan. It is all the same entity. He is all over the Bible. Some people sitting up here worshiping the damn King James Bible, and King James was a fucking homosexual. Facts. Do your research on it. That's why I say the Bible, yeah, the Bible speaks truth, but for the most part, the Bible is bullshit and a book of spells and programming. Give me just a second, Lance. I need to turn on this light to see these notes.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Okay. So the tag is, once again, because I'm going to say this multiple times, this is the Matrix. This is the Matrix. So I want to say, do you know where you are? Do you really know? I mean, really, do you really know? Because if you truly know, this shit shouldn't even be in existence if you really knew where you are. None of this shit should really even be in existence, really, because think about it. Most that are within this, especially for the blacks and the Latinos, and they're not even blacks or Latinos. That's another title that was given. But as present day, that's what we know about them. This is what everyone calls them. We all know that they face extreme biasness and prejudice. We know that the men are subjugated. We know this. Whether you want to be real about it or not, we know the men are subjugated. Because the women are the ones the black and the Latino women are the ones that's taking, especially the black women, they're the ones taking over the workforce. So in essence, if you really want to be real about it, truth be told, like I said, and it goes back to this, before a time of now, way back in time, men weren't even around. Men were created. But before men came in existence, it was females. That's why you see more females on this planet than males. And this is a fact. There is no disputing that. So, and the reason why you see more females, because if you think about electrons and protons, the feminine energy would be the negative part of the energy, and they vibrate way stronger than the proton that the man is supposed to be. Because a man would be for positive, he would stand for positive energy, and it's more negative energies which vibrate a hell of a lot stronger than the so-called positive proton energy that the man is supposed to represent. And a lot of these things are going to go over your head, because if you are vibrating low, you won't get it. So this was a planet that was all feminine energy. Before Marduk invaded, it was all females. If you know anything about Tiamat, she represents the essence of what women are. Who they say, like when they call about Lilith. Lilith was a representative of the feminine energy too. It's the same story being played out, and it's the same entity. It's all telling the same thing. There is no disputing it. Women are the stronger frequency because they vibrate harder. That's why if most women are being 100% honest, and when they talk to most men, I hate to come out and say this, because it makes it seem like I'm just trying to be funny, but I'm not. I'm actually speaking the truth. Most men are stupid. Most women play them for fools. This is a fact, because especially our men, because their minds have been incepted. Because if you were the true essence of a man, there's no way you would be sitting up here going to work in somebody else's job, and you don't own shit, and he can get rid of you at any point in time. Like, for instance, I wanted to tell Lance about this the other day when we spoke, but we didn't have time, but I'm going to tell him now. So, remember when I told you, when I said that this is the Matrix, right, Lance? Remember we was talking the other day over the phone? Lance? Oh, he must have stopped.
Probably muted.
Okay. Well, we spoke over the phone the other day, and I was telling him that this is the Matrix. This is where the whole tag came from. I was talking to my sister, and she was telling me, we was talking, and she was telling me, you know, me and my husband, we having such a good time. You know, it's not, when you meet other people, it's always drama. And I was saying in my head, you know, I was thinking to myself subconsciously, I was thinking to myself, yeah, girl, but because my sister she's like 6 years older than me. Even age isn't even real, because truth be told, we're ageless. But as it relates to this reality, she's 6 years older than me. I mean, younger than me. And she was saying how good their relationship was, how he gives her such a peace of mind. And I was saying to myself subconsciously, I was like, yeah, girl, but this is the Matrix, honey. How long do you think that happiness will last? Because I didn't tell her that, but I tell her about the Matrix, and because she's a lot younger than me, a lot of stuff go over her head. But just the other day, now she was telling me all of this stuff about how good he treats her, and because I know the real reality of the Matrix, her husband and her just had a car accident. Yes. He goes out and he drinks, and you know you ain't supposed to be drinking and driving. And he gets mad at her because a guy is trying to approach her. And I get it. But dude, you already the wrong, you're drinking and driving. First of all, you're not even responsible, because if you were, you wouldn't even be doing it. You can drink at home. And so the car goes out of control after he was about to get into a fight at the bar, and then it was a white guy trying to talk to her. And he goes off and shoot the gun in the air. Yeah, it's registered and all of that. But what you think would have happened to him if a white cop came there? They would have beat the shit out of him. And you got a gun on you, and you did it to a white man? You clearly don't know where you are. This is the Matrix. They would have stomped a mud hole in his ass. And he would have got locked up. Straight like that. This is the Matrix, and now he locked up because he ran the car into someone's home. He literally ran the car into someone's home. Now he's in jail. Now she has to deal with the kids by herself. She's stressed out. Now he's going to have a whole bunch of fines, and then he's going to have to pay for damaged property and all of that. Now, the Matrix is ran off of depression, anger, fear, and sadness. It can't run if those emotions are not into play. Period. It's not designed for you to be happy. That's why the tag says, do you know where you are? This is the Matrix. This is not designed for you to be happy. Any happiness that you get is going to be temporary. I hate to tell you, I hate to break your reality and shatter it, but this is the Matrix. This is not designed for you to be happy. Period. It's not designed for you to be happy. It's designed for you to vibrate off of aggravated energy. Period. That's what it's designed for. It's not designed to give you this American dream, this illusion of peace and happiness and warmth. It's not designed for that. It's designed to steal your energy. It even steal your thoughts. You can't even have your thoughts to yourself. Because I'm going to speak about that later too. But this is the Matrix. You need to know where you are. If you don't want to be here, either you're going to have to come to the reality that the darkness is your true home. Because from the darkness, there comes light. That's your true home. And in the darkness, if you've done the shadow work, you feel comfortable in the darkness. It's a calming place. You're not irritated. There's nothing to worry about. There's no stress on you. Most people most spirits that are within this reality experience stress all the time. All the time. If you're working at a 9 to 5, you experience stress. Even if it's a part-time job, you experience stress. Do you know how many people have to work 2 and 3 part-time jobs just to try to make ends meet, and you still broke? Yes, this is actually happening. This is not designed to especially for the blacks and the Latinos. They know you're the strongest energy. They have to subjugate you. This is light code lockdown. I don't know what you thinking. I don't know what you're thinking. And if you want to get out of this shit, it's only one way to do it. Tear this motherfucker up. Point blank period. It gets because they did it. They've told you that they conquered your people, killed your people and everything, and they laugh at you as if, and what you gonna do about it? This is what they think of you. So when you question your own reality, then you take this step in the right direction. Because questioning your own reality, you deep down inside in your subconscious mind, you know you are not supposed to be experiencing this. You know you are not supposed to be experiencing this. Period. Because it's not normal. Energy don't know anything about anger, fear, depression, sadness. It doesn't know anything about that. It has to be programmed. look at yourself as a quantum computer, because that's what you are. Accept that. You have to accept that, because you can't stay in the matrix and then you want to bitch and complain about it, but then you don't want to look at the real reality of where you are, who you are, and what you are. You can't do both. You cannot do both. This is the matrix. This is not designed for you to have a happy ever after. It's designed to keep your ass subjugated, trapped, and miserable. I don't work. I live with an archon himself, and I know he won, because anytime when I come at him and I tell him about these things, he looks at me as all of them need to be destroyed. I'm telling you what he says. They don't give a fuck. They are heartless as shit, because they have lowered their own vibration to the lowest of low. That's why they don't have a soul. They don't have a soul. They don't give a fuck. You could die and they will walk over your corpse. They do not care. All they are concerned with is when your ass die and you release all of your energy, they collect all that, and if you don't know what the fuck this shit is, your ass is gonna be motherfucking directed right back into the moon matrix and recycle, strip your memories and thrown right back in this shit to live it all over again. Some of us have been in here multiple times. Don't even realize it, because your memory's been taken. Now, with all of us complaining about this, all of us seeing the injustice, you know that the justice system is straight bullshit. We all know that. You can, one of us can, anyone can, especially if you're black or Latino, they'll lock your ass up and give you life for a goddamn bag of weed, and they just legalize the shit.
Let me just jump in and say something really quick. There's a little echo when I talk, but I'm quiet usually. It seems as though your headphones might have a short. We can hear you like 25% of the time, but maybe 85% of it. Is there a way that you can just take the headphones away from it, but still talk? And we're here with you, but it on, since most of us are not talking. I mean, and myself.
Okay, hold on for a second. I'm gonna try to switch them out. Hold on.
Okay. This is definitely good.
Yes, it is.
I think you said energy have or doesn't feel depressed, doesn't complain, doesn't bitch and moan. That's true. That's why I'm in the station. I've been keeping myself muted.
What about now?
Okay, it seems to be a little clipping, but let's just roll with that. It does sound a little better though. So
okay, are you sure?
Yeah, that's better. It sounds better already. Then and if it does, I'll let you know. But I don't want to interrupt.
Just turn down the volume just a tad.
Okay. What about now?
That sounds good.
Okay.
All right, let's roll, because it's hard to say, yeah, it's working. You know, when you start talking and you're flowing, then we can tell exactly how well it's working.
Okay. So just let me know.
All right.
But when you have a job which is just overbroad, or a career within this reality or world, or what we would think is reality, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, and it don't mean shit. I hate to break your reality. You can make all the money in the world, but it don't mean shit. Because at the end of the day, and at the end of your life cycle, you could have everything. But at the end of your life cycle, when they cut you off, if you don't know what The real deal is your ass will be coming back here again to live that same bullshit over, to be aggravated the whole goddamn time. And I love you too, Tarot, Zeta, Von Bomb. Love you too. You will be coming right back into this shit again. Like, I don't know how else to break it to you, but most of us, like I told you guys before, I talked to this one guy at the gas station, and I'll never forget what he said. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. And he says to me, I was talking to him about the Matrix because I wanted to see how aware was he. And he was like, he said, I am so tired of this. I just want to tell God, I don't ever want you to ever break me back here. But see, what he doesn't realize, you already fucked up when you said that. Because the fact that you are putting all your faith in God, baby, oh no, I don't know what you thought, but the fact that you are putting all your faith in God is gonna have your ass coming right back here, being aggravated all over again. Empress Elegy, what was said when you was telling them to be respectful in the chat?
Nothing in particular, but folks will just make little snide comments, not directly at you per se, but you know what I'm saying? So I'm just letting it be known that we're going to curtail any snide remarks, any weird jokes, Yeah.
If they only knew what I was connected to, you wouldn't have anything to say. You really wouldn't. The like I said, I'm gonna say it again. The chosen ones are the chosen ones for a reason.
Right.
Think about it now. Everybody don't know all this knowledge and the history of all this, while most are stuck within the matrix. And you have the nerve to make remarks and comments to the ones that know everything. And I even had another comment. I don't remember her name, but she said, "Oh well, it's impossible for someone to know everything." And see, this is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you might not know everything, as in everything there is to know, because you haven't been everywhere. You haven't been to every galaxy that there is, and most of y'all still stuck on this shit. Most of you can't even get off the human experience. If you can't get off of that, you don't know anything. Basically, you don't know anything because you still stuck thinking you actually a man or woman, and you're not either technically. So
talk about that some more. I think people really need to get that part of it, into their psyche.
The thing is that at base of this, before you come into this reality, before you are led to this reality, you are energy. You are a light being. I told you, I've seen the energies myself vibrating. I've seen them. I astral project myself, and I've seen them vibrating, jumping up and down. They even came into the reality and visited me 3 times. I see them all the time. You can get dizzy and see all of them around you. The only reason why you can't see it is because most of the spirits here only believe in what is known as to be a human. That's it. Because when you look at the movie Avatar, that movie was about you. Before they came and invaded the reality and gave you what a human is, and then they dumbed you down to, oh, I'm gonna be a doctor when I grow up. Oh, I'm gonna be a brain surgeon. When in truth be told, you ain't doing surgery on nobody's fucking brain. Because the thing of it is, you are a consciousness, and a consciousness don't have a motherfucking brain. Consciousness is to be aware. it may seem like you have a brain within the reality, but most of you would know this, that within this system, all it is designed for is to keep you stuck in it. For example, if you go to the dentist and go to get a tooth fix, right? Because technically you don't have teeth. Your energy. Your energy is streaming a projection of your avatar. That's it. So technically you don't really have teeth. But within this matrix, you are programmed to believe that you are the human body and that's it. And when you believe that and you go to the dentist and you work on your mouth, it's only designed to keep you coming back. Don't, after you get the job done, you have to keep going back to the dentist. Basically, because back then when they actually celebrated and they practiced spirituality, there was none of that. This is why, like, this is why when I'm saying about the green emerald tablets, it talks about that there is nothing but energy. That's why back in those times, Atlantis, in the Atlantean times, and the capital of Atlantis will be Atlanta, Georgia. Where you think all these names come from? There was a god who is Atlas. They have Atlas Mountains.
They do.
Right. And the last time you checked, the mountains were big as hell, correct? That would be an ancient spirit, because everything is spirit. Everything. Even if you take a pen and you write with a pen, it's still a living being. Denise Wilder, I get you, sister, but how do I find out who I am? Where do I start? You need to get the emerald green tablets, because it talks about nothing but energy. And once you understand that, you'll understand how the matrix trigger you to make your energy vibrate. Because that's basically what it's doing. These trolls that come in here and they try to disturb and disrupt the message, they're agents, they're sentinels. Basically. They're agents. Because they do this to all of the chosen ones who are getting out the message. They don't, because if this doesn't get out and they can interrupt it by whatever means that they can, some people will lose track of really what to pay attention to, because so many of our minds and our consciousness has been incepted by pure stupidity. This is just truly what is really going on. They don't want you to wake up. That's why they never told you about who you really are. They don't want you to wake up, because if you wake up and you realize who you truly are, and you realize that all of this shit that you've been put through, and you are just energy, and you've been put through all this, your consciousness been fucked and raped. Basically, your consciousness has been raped. You will be mad as hell, because you know that you shouldn't have experienced any of this. I don't care what good life you have. I don't care what you think is good. But baby, you better rest assured, this is the matrix. You ain't gonna be happy but for so long, because this is built off negative vibrating energy. Sadness, depression, fear, and anger. If none of those emotions are triggered, you're not feeding the beast, which is the matrix. When you come in here, do you know that they stick nanobots inside of babies when they shoot them up? When the baby comes into the world and they get them all those shots, they stick nanobots in you. That's why some of us just don't get it. And then you probably one of those ones where they didn't feed you pork and they didn't probably then closed up your whole goddamn pineal gland. Your whole damn pineal gland is solid. Your pineal gland is supposed to be open because it's directly connected to the sixth chakra, which is the third eye. Intuition, where no one can fool you and you can see beyond the veil. Most of us cannot see beyond the veil because if you're still stuck thinking you're a human, you haven't seen and you haven't broken the veil. That is the veil, that you are a human and that's it. That's the veil. If you're still thinking I'm a man, I'm a woman, that I got a pussy, I got a dick, I need to fuck, you if that's what you on, you have not broken the veil. Because I'm gonna tell you, you remember Empress when I was talking about the whole sex thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you remember how I told you, I said when I first came into the reality, I didn't like it.
Right. I remember.
And I still don't like it. So I'm gonna tell you what they're doing to the celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
And they ain't doing it just to the celebrities. This is happening to everyone, not just the celebrities. So what they do is, and shout out to Rashad Jamal because he spoke about this too. But I knew something wasn't right with it. I already knew this early.
Mm-hmm.
What they do is when you have sex, they will lure a celebrity in who is unaware, right? And they want to get into the game, right? And they will make them do all these orgies and have different sex partners. But do you know what that does? It chips away at your morphogenetic field, weakening your energy. Because think about it now. If you're just energy and you are intermingling your energy with a non-compatible vibration, what do you think is going to happen? Especially if that vibration knows what you don't know.
Right.
It's chipping away at your defenses. And when your energy vibrates real low, where they want you to be, you're done. You're done. You will be a bot controlled by the matrix. You will be owned. They look at you as cattle. They look at you as, why do you think that they feed you and they give you all this food and stores? They feed you because they know that when this is over and when your life cycle is done, they got to kill the pig. They have to kill the pig, and you will be the pig, the unaware consciousness. And I just want to say this too, that for the chosen ones, and when I say chosen ones, I'm talking about all the ones who are talking about being aware, higher consciousness, all of the ones that speak about this, right. Whether it's me, Jamal Rashad, Empress Elegy, LANCESCURV, Setmet 7, any of us, and there are many more. You will know the ones that are the chosen ones because they talk about things that are not related to this reality of being a human being. They talk about what's beyond the veil.
That's right.
You have to think that we live a whole different reality than you because we are not in the light show. We are not really tapped into the matrix. So we get attacked on a whole nother level. Like I said, I get spiritually attacked all the time, non-stop. So my existence within this reality is completely different from the average because the average is not highly aware and know everything like I do. The only reason why I can hold a lot of the information is because I'm a massive spirit and I vibrate high. That's it. We just like computers. We're quantum computers. And if you had to tap into the quantum physics and the quantum world, you're lost because you don't you don't, if you still stuck on what the government says, oh, we need to do this, you still stuck in the matrix. They'll lead your ass to death and let you jump off in a pool and a bed of spikes and walk right over your ass. They don't give a fuck about you. Once
real.
again, this is the matrix. What do you think you are? They don't give a fuck about you. Even I myself have went through lots of shit. Lots. That's why I have the rage and furious spirit that I have. They don't give a fuck. My whole thing was I wanted to find out why all of this shit was going on, because I knew from the beginning I wasn't supposed to be experiencing a lot of stuff that I experienced. I already knew that. And like I told Empress and Lance about, the whole sex thing, that I never liked it because it didn't feel right to my spirit. Your higher self, which is your energy, your source, knows everything. It knows it's not really a part of that matrix. It knows that. You don't know it as a projection. That's why you have to connect back to your higher self. All you are as that so-called human body, you are just screaming a projection, a mental projection. That's it. And if you don't connect back to your higher self, which is the true you're fucked. Because once you die, your consciousness is going to be shattered. Especially if you stay here and you waste the time. The reason why that Mortal Kombat emblem is there, because I will be a direct descendant of Mother Nature herself. We both have the same vibrating spirit. That's why she gave me all the knowledge she gave me. If anyone is tapped into the spiritual world and you can actually talk and connect with the spirits, ask them who I am. They know. They know. They know. Trust me, they know. Because this archon here, he knows. Because they know I don't take no shit. And they know that. And the thing of it is, if you're not aware of who you are, what you are, and why you are, you're fucked. You're fucked. Because when it's over, you and with this agenda that they're pushing, because the whole thing is that.
Let me just say this real quick. I just dropped the link in the chat where you can actually download the Emerald tablets, the Emerald tablets, tablets. Go get the tablets. You can go ahead and download it from there. Let me know if you have any issues. If you do, then I'll just tell you, go to pdfdrive.com and type in what you're looking for, the Emerald tablet. Can you give them the full name again, Sister Denise?
It is
Pyromander or something like that.
It's the Emerald Green tablets by the Three Initiates, and it comes with 3 books. It's the Emerald tablets itself, and it comes with the Kabbalion, and it comes with a smaller book of the Emerald Green tablets.
Right. Well, this is just something they can start reading, right now. You know what I'm saying? Because people want to jump in, but they would have to really go to Amazon, because I like real books. I like tactile stuff that you can turn pages. So to get the actual book that she's talking about, from the 3 Initiates, you'd have to go to Amazon. But if you want to read something right now in PDF form, you can download this. This one is the Divine Pymander. That's one of them, right, Sister Nina? Okay,
yes.
Yeah. So this one you can download now, and you can have it to read, tonight, tomorrow, whenever. And then in the meantime, put your pennies together and buy the books.
Yeah, but you do want to have a hard copy.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it's and the thing is that when you do read it, see, this is why I went so hard on that guy on the commenter because you're saying that, but the fact that you are even saying that to me tells me you're sleeping. You sleeping.
Right.
It's like the student. It's just like the student that was in the 6th grade, and all other students passed, and this motherfucker spent his whole time sleeping, and then you wonder why you failed.
Mm-hmm. For real.
You're sleeping because if you still stuck on that, they are gonna slave your ass. They don't like the man. Do you actually think another masculine entity is gonna let another man get over and let him have access to everything? Are you cracked? They're not gonna let you do that. And the fact that you're not even talking about, because truth be told, our dudes, the blacks, the Latinos, if they really want to end this shit, all they gotta do is come together and motherfucking stop that working shit. Because if you stop the working shit, the matrix crumbles. Because that's one of their main pillars. You think that you have to actually go to work? Ain't none of this shit real. When your ass die, you can't take none of this shit with you, but you burning out your goddamn energy though.
Mm-mm.
You burning out your whole experience here working for 30 and 40 years. And all for what? Because when your ass die, you can't take none of it with you. So what the fuck you burn yourself out for? You can't take none of it with you. None of it. You cannot take none of it with you. I don't give a fuck how many houses, how many fake cars you got. You can't take none of that shit with you. Because truth be told, most motherfuckers ain't even gonna know what the fuck is going on when they die. And that's a fact. Because you're still, when you pass on to another dimension or another realm of existence, you're supposed to still be aware of that.
Exactly.
And if you're not aware of that, your ass will be enslaved for them to drain your ass of your energy again. If they ain't already drained your ass dry already.
Mm-mm.
I'm just telling you what it is. Because that's what's going on. That's why I said you can tell the ones that still sleeping, because if you still stuck on that human shit, you still want to crack jokes and do all of that low vibrational stupid shit, you sleeping. The only reason why
I comment for you.
What is this? I'm speaking to Dr. Amos Wilson. To the speaker, why are you angry at this guy? He is in the matrix. He knows no better. No, brown butter. I know, but I put him on blast because the thing is that you disrupt the focus of everyone else by doing that, because you could have kept all of that shit to yourself. Because truth be told, you don't even know where you are. So in essence, what the fuck did you make the comment for? You don't know shit.
Oh dear.
You could have kept that remedial stupid comment to yourself, because if you're here, then you need to be listening. And after you intake the information, you can go and research it yourself. But if you just don't come here to make stupid comments, you disrupt the flow of everyone else. And it's not fair to everyone else, because some are interested, some are wondering why they're having this experience. That's the whole purpose of me telling them. Because I do know why they're going through it. I just told you guys of the story of my sister. I already knew that when she said that, now she's depressed, sad, angry. She don't know what she's gonna do with her kids, because the so-called school is about to start the school of indoctrination. But because she's so young, so many of them are not ready to get this because they'll think that you're crazy. They wanted you to think that so that you would be stuck in their matrix. They don't care about nothing else. All they want to do is live in their loop. And they can only live in their loop as long as you're ignorant of what and who you truly are. Because most of us are within this matrix looping over and over and over again, and we are not even aware of it. Because I know most of us have experienced a situation over and over again, has pissed us off. It just comes in another form, but essentially it's still the same thing. You're looping. You're looping. And if you have the time to sit here and you have the time to make stupid jokes and crack stupid jokes and you think you're funny, because truth be told, that you wouldn't dare say that to me in my face. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. First of all, I wouldn't even let you speak. Because I can read energy. I can tell when an energy is weak. I can tell. I don't even have to be around you. I can feel your field of energy. I can tell when you're weak. I can read spirits very, very good. I'm never off. And I wouldn't say that, sometimes I don't make mistakes, but it's very rare. So when I say this, I come from a place of experience. I know of what I speak. If we would have known half of this when I was a child, each one read each one.
Basically,
well,
he appreciates you. He appreciates you.
Well, the thing is, I think that all of us, if we had known any of this stuff, I think that all of us would have taken a different approach. Because first off, that whole white superiority shit, that definitely wouldn't be in existence.
For real.
Because there was one time when I was going to college, and because I studied psychology, so I know how the mind works. I know the so-called brain, the different lobes, everything. I know everything about all of that. Trust me, I can break them down to you. So because I know all of this stuff, and I've been studying for years, because Tiamat, the one that y'all call Mother Nature, she did not play with me. When I first came in this reality, she was on it. I was knowing geometry, fractions as a child. She played with me. And I know exactly who she is. She did not play with me. I didn't have a break. I was always ahead because I had always known more than the average while everybody was joking around and having fun. I had to hit the books and be serious all the time. And if I didn't do it, I would get my ass whooped. So she didn't play with me. And it all was a reason, because the whole reality has been invaded. Because she knew I would come to understand in the end why I had the life that I had. A lot of us are not even from this particular galaxy. A lot of us not even from here. But you won't know where you won't know where you belong, where you are, where you're going, if you don't know who, why, and what you are. It's essential that you come to an understanding of this. It's essential. I'm not getting up here telling you this, trying to make fairy tales, because what am I gaining from that? I'm not gaining nothing from that. If anything, I'm losing, because I'm burning my damn energy up. So I don't gain anything from this. The only reason why I'm doing it is because I feel sorry for the spirits that are not aware.
Somebody's about to be
Tell Empty to come down here with some space guns and help the black race restore the planet. Well, that's another problem. You don't need ET help. All of you have to come together. That's the only way it's gonna stop. That's the problem. That's the same gimmick being used through the Bible, that God is gonna come and save you. You are the power. You don't have to wait for no one. All y'all have to do is come together and say, hell no, we're not going for the shit no more. It's a wrap. That's it. It's just that shit end overnight. They can't force you to do it. What, they gonna lock every motherfucking body up? And do you know that a lot of those men, now I'm gonna break this down to you. The men that's in prison, that's in the prison system,
Mm-hmm.
do you realize that within that prison system, because I look at the shows all the time, how they be snapping in there, banging on the doors, fighting, killing, and all of that within that particular reality. Do you know how angry and pissed off they would be if they came to find out that they weren't even supposed to be even experiencing that's fake, and the only reason why you have even been put in that is because somebody else has put a mind matrix rules over you to get you to think that, and that's why it manifested. And the only way to keep it up is by keeping all of those spirits in there thinking the same thing. Because essentially all you have is imagination. Do you realize how pissed off they would be? To realize that they ain't even supposed to be experiencing that shit? They would be angry as fuck. That's your motherfucking army right there. The goddamn prison system. Because you let all them out and tell the goddamn truth and get them to understand that shit. You're gonna see the motherfucking Darth Racky run through this motherfucker. And getting back to Tiamat, we're all familiar with the HBO show called The Game of Thrones, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And in the Tiamat Chronicles, and epic with her battle with Marduk, because remember I told you this was a feminine planet. It was all females here before men even came into existence. Remember I told you that, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Yes.
when Marduk, which is the Jesus, Jesus, the God that's in the Bible, it's the same one.
Mm-hmm.
When he invaded and he took over, that's when the male dominance came into play. But if you remember that show, The Game of Thrones, if you do the research on Tiamat, the Enuma Elish, it tells you how she had the battle with Marduk, and how she said that she's gonna get her planet back because she was gonna raise up 3 dragons. One of those dragons is me. The other dragon is her. And there is another dragon that is like the spitting image of me. We would be the 3 dragons that she is speaking about. It's in the Enuma Elish. And if you look at the Game of Thrones, what did Daenerys do? Didn't she raise up 3 dragons?
I never really watched
They're telling you the story.
I know
Well,
of it, but I know of it, but I never really watched it.
The story is basically the same thing. And what happens at the end? She burns that bitch ablaze. Why you think all this shit is being revealed? Because the Matrix has to fall. It's not gonna come in the form that you think. They speak in codes, but the ones who get it are gonna understand it. They're gonna know. That's why they are the chosen ones, because they do know. See, when you know, it's a difference in believing. Most spirits here believe that God is going to come and save them. and they're not even aware that God is just another program. That you actually think God give a fuck about you? Really? Do you really think that? Cause like I told you, I'll tell you, I live with an archon. I know exactly who he is. And honey, he don't run over me. I run over his ass. But I'm gonna tell you what he said. You know what he says to me all the time? He says, yeah, and religion is what's gonna keep him stuck. He says that to me all the time.
Wow.
Because so many are thinking that God is gonna come and save them, and there is no God to come and save you because these particular energies have a family line. They have a family line, and if you're not part of that line, they don't give a fuck about you. Don't you think that they would have been killed me off by now if I wasn't an important one? Because if you know anything about the chosen one, what do they always say? Don't they always say this? That I'm protected by the ancestors? Don't they always say that? If you looked and you've been tuning into these different channels and you've been watching these chosen ones speak, the ancestors are the main reason why they are able to speak and talk the way that they do, because they are protected. They know about astral. They know what is behind this reality, and they see beyond the veil. They had to get the information from somewhere. So they had to be connected and tapped in, obviously. Do you think that they will actually teach you about the emerald green tablets? Do you actually, don't you think that would have been, if that book is essentially telling you that you are energy, that everything vibrates, that everything is mental, and if you understand that everything is mental, it is what you perceive it to be. So if you know that, don't you think if that's essential, don't you think they should have put that in school to teach you? Instead of hiding in the book and hiding the Kabbalah and all this different information that's telling you who and what you truly are. They never put that in a school program. Instead, they want to teach you about being a motherfucking doctor and a lawyer that don't mean shit. Because when you die, you can't take none of this shit with you. So essentially, what the fuck does it mean? Not a goddamn thing. And if you're still believing in that, you're stuck. And you'll be repeating this shit over again.
Right.
So do you have any questions in first elegy that you want to ask?
My dear sister, I'm just watching the chat because we get folks coming up in there with their alternating opinions and so on and so forth. So I've been busy reading, making sure that everybody stays on square, code, point, and stay respectful. So
Okay.
no, I'm good. Keep talking, sis. Keep talking. You're good.
I just want to say this just off of you even saying that. I just want to say that in essence, there really is if you come here to vibrate higher, if you come here to seek something that, because most of us have always questioned, why is this happening to me? The matrix is ran off depression, fear, sadness, and anger. Period.
Right.
You question why have your experience went the way that it did. Everyone has questioned that. Even if you're not even fully aware of it, you question it. Your subconscious question it. So when you question and you have an alternate opinion about what it is, so then in essence you will be saying that this what I'm experiencing right now, white supremacy, working a 9-to-5 job that drains you of your energy. So you would take that to be your real reality, and you would be happy with that. Essentially, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be saying that if you're saying something different, because there will be nothing else to question, because once you know all of this, then it should make sense to you why you experience what you experience. That there are some energies out here who has lowered their own vibration, and the only way that they can exist is to feed off yours.
For real, and you could feel it.
Right.
Mm.
That's why you can't really, there's nothing to really question. You know that you're being fed off. If you got to go to work, when this was when Planet Tiamat existed long ago, there was none of that working program shit. Did it look like they went to a 9 to 5 in the movie Avatar? No.
They coexisted with their
Right, because
planet.
they were in harmony.
Mm-hmm.
What this experience now is not harmony. Otherwise, you wouldn't have people calling each other names, all of these stupid ass program words that are said that you speak to others to lower their vibration. But that's what I'm doing. So when you know that, you do better. You act better.
Exactly. And
But if
see,
you don't know,
this is a teaching experience. I mean, a lot of folks, a lot of us are learning things that we didn't know before. A lot of folks in the chat, they know a lot of what you're saying. You know what I mean? And so as we get this information, research what Sister Danina is saying and, vibrate higher.
and when they say vibrate higher, is because remember, your consciousness is about awareness, and the
Mm-hmm.
way
Mm-hmm.
to feed your consciousness is about knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think the ancients are as smart as they are? They knew.
That's right.
Right. That's what it's about. If you still stuck on calling people names, I do it because I can do it because I know. So I can lower mine a little bit for comedic value, especially when I want to read a motherfucker. But other than that, I know what it is. I'm not gonna let you feed off my energy
Okay,
because they
is
try.
Israel, the sign doesn't say comedy night. I think Lance showed us this morning the banner for comedy night. This banner clearly does not say comedy night. So I can't even imagine how you thought this was comedy night. Come on now. Let's have some respect for Sister Danina.
Yeah, let me just say something. I think I have a little echo. That's why I'm quiet. But I just want to say something. Why is it that, Sister Danina's dropping this stuff really good? It makes sense. If you can't understand it, you take the good with good and leave what you may say is the bad. I'm eating it all up. If you're not on the level to absorb it, sitting in the side and just making comments is not good, because there are those of us who want to focus in on. And we've been silently knocking people off because there's certain people that have been around for a long time and they acting like a jealous little girl or something. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, well this is cuckoo and all that weird stuff. Right now, we're not going to deal with weirdos. We have fun, we do what we do, but this is really about being serious. And I'm not pissed off at anybody because they're just showing themselves, and I hit the block from the channel button forevermore. Like I said before, I'm not out here for hits. I'm not out here to call people names and all this stuff like that. We can do that, like you said. Danina said we can lower our vibration and do that. But if you know how much work that this takes, which I love to do, you'd respect a little more. Sitting off on the side and making stupid little comments and getting yourself blocked where you can never comment again. If you want to go to the lower vibration channels, there's a lot of twerking channels. There's a lot of other chat rooms that bring drama. There is no drama accepted here in a show like this, or accepted on the channel at all.
Exactly.
I don't talk no more. I just, delete and block forevermore. Just get rid of the problem. So
Right.
I'm silent back, and maybe I can get about 10 more people. I'm not saying because I have numbers like that, but I got 109,000 subscribers who, pretty much the most part, enjoy what's here. So I can knock about 7,000 or 8,000 off tonight. So try me. Okay, go ahead, Sister Danina.
I tell you what, they can sit here and make comedy night all they want to, but your ass will be right back sleeping on that goddamn air mattress the next lifetime.
Mm-mm.
Because I'm telling you, you think that shit is a game. It's not. It's not a game. You think that that shit is a motherfucking game. It's not a game. Because if you knew they even do that shit to the celebrities, you be sitting up here praising them. They ain't nothing but fucking parasites. That's it. And you sit up here and be screaming and hooping and hollering, giving all your energy to them, going back and their music that lowers your vibration, giving your currency to them, and you do all this, and when somebody actually comes and speak facts to you, it's comedy night. Do you know how immature, remedial, childish, numbskull that is? When somebody is trying to alert you, because the ones that are in know, they don't. You have to understand. How do you know if you're on a spiritual awakening path? Thank you, sister. Elijah Crossgrove. You know that once what I'm saying and others that are speaking the same thing, when they talk about vibration and energy, and once you start to understand that, that's when you come on your spiritual awakening. If you still thinking that you're a human and this is all that's in existence, you're still asleep. That you realize that when you die from here, nobody is really supposed to be coming back and recycling in here over and over again. You're supposed to go on to another galaxy and another reality. You know how many people that has been, you know how many spirits that has came back and have relived this shit over and over again? They have been rooted to this shit. That's why I said, to sit there and think that you heard him, you're not hurting me, because baby, after this is over, when this avatar has disconnected, I don't come back here because I'm not from here. So I don't have to live this existence. I don't have no root rooting me here. So you can think it's a game all you want to, but when your ass be suffering and they done pump your ass full of nanobots and your ass be walking around here, because I know we all seen those robots in those stores moving by themselves.
I've seen
Have you guys seen that?
I've seen them.
Yes. So what you think the whole transhumanism is about?
And they come up to you. They come and look up straight in your face, like they just, they're grabbing all your features and downloading everything about you.
Yes, because everything is about information, and when the archons have the information on you, so when they have the information on you, they can control you. That's why they can control you. So you can think it's a game all you want to. Think it's a game. But when you come back in this again and they make you suffer and keep lowering your vibration until you don't exist anymore, don't question it. Remember, you want calm night. So you can sit here and think it's a game all you want to, but the ones that are talking about this, they know it's serious.
Right.
They don't take it. You think that they put all these books out here for a joke? So if that's the case, then what the fuck do you think about a doctor who went to school only to be indoctrinated? But you don't take that as a joke because they can earn paper money that ain't real. The only thing that you have is your spirit. That's it. Some of us have souls, not all of us. Some of us. Some of us don't even have a soul. And the archons definitely don't have one. That's why they can do what they do and kill your ass and think nothing of it. They eat the human bodies. When you die, they eat you. They drain adrenochrome from children. So you think this shit is a game all you want to, but you just remember this. Technically, no one owns any spirits because spirits come into existence on their own. But within this reality, I'm the Queen of England. I own the whole Canada. So essentially, if everything is spirit, she's saying that she owns you too. So you do the math. Can you dissect that and come up with the right equation?
Mm.
There is, this is the problem. A lot of us will sit here and we'll say we won't change. We'll say we won't this, but the solution is right in front of your face. All you got to do is do the research and have a understanding of comprehending. If you don't have that, how are you going to understand what is being given to you? This is why the cemeteries stay the same size, eating people. Yep. Correct. Terra Zeta Bomb. What you laughing at, Empress Elodie?
I'm just laughing at the comment. They eating people. Oh God.
But they are.
I know, but it's just, I didn't expect to see it from cemeteries.
They cut up the body parts because the archons have lowered their frequency to the lowest low, so they are attached to this reality. And the only way that they can survive is by taking the blood, which is energy. Because remember, you're nothing but energy. The avatar is just an illusion. It comes through bits because so many spirits believe in it. That's essentially what reality is. Belief. That's all you are, is a consciousness. That's all you are, is imagination. If you can't comprehend that, you'll be led anywhere. You will be essentially going into another reality after this. Mainly, you'll be coming back into this one. Because they don't want you to leave this reality. They want to keep you stuck here. And if you're afraid of the dark, you're definitely coming back here because you'll go right back into the light trap. That's going to reincarnate you right back here to live this whole cycle over again. Why do seizures happen? Shaking my head, all the electrical current comes from where in the body? Well, the whole body is basically electricity. You're not, just don't think of it as being a physical body or energy. And speaking of energy, the telephone poles, the internet. Shout out to Rashad Jamal. The internet. When they say internet, it's a net. When you go outside and you look at those telephone poles, how they crisscross like that. What is that? That's a net, right? It's a big net. And you know what that does? It collects your electrical current, which is your thoughts. They know your electricity. You don't know. Even your thoughts aren't even private. They spy in on that too. They don't want you to have no privacy. They want ultimate control to keep this matrix going. That's all they care about. Those telephone poles, the internet is all. We are the internet. We're the ones powering it. And those electric poles that's outside that you see, it's a net. They basically pull your frequency, your energy, your electricity. And you're not even aware of that. That's why you must be aware of who you are and where you are. This is the matrix. The matrix runs off depression, anger, fear, and sadness. That is it. If you're not vibrating off that, you don't feed the matrix. You don't feed the matrix. And if you don't feed the matrix, they're going to get rid of you. And the only way they won't get rid of you, you're going to have to be connected to the outside spirits, because the outside ancestral spirits, they don't want to be in here because they know what it is. They know
Right.
it's a trap. What did you say?
Oh, no. Nothing.
So they know that it's a trap. They know that this is to keep you stuck here and to keep you down to your lowest form. That's all it is. This is not. You're in these realities. These realities were in creation for you to jump to different realities and have different experiences. You can't do that here. They don't want you to do that.
Right.
Because if you do that, you can't feed them. Why do you think they take
That makes sense. Isn't that what they kind of portrayed in the movie The Jumper or Jumper? Because every time they found out that someone had that ability, they had to track them down and kill them.
Of course. And some people, some spirits are able to do that without even being aware of it. But see, the main thing is to become fully aware of who you are and what you are, and become aware of your existence and your surroundings and your true reality. Once you become aware of that, there's nothing they can do to you, because you'll know how to maneuver everything. And to be truthful, if you really want to survive this, you have to become a fighting spirit, because everything in here is meant to trigger you. Even the trolls. Why do you think they come in and try to disrupt the high conscious and high frequency conversations? To disrupt the frequency of it. They don't want you talking about that. They don't want you talking about that. They want to keep you stuck and keep you dumbed down. That's it. They do not want you talking about that, because if too many of them wake up, the reality is over for them. It is literally smoke and mirrors. The only reason why it comes through as so-called physical, because truth be told, there is no physical. If you really want to get technical with it, there is no physical. And you can tell that when you go to sleep. You're just disconnecting the tether, because your energy has been pulled too much, and the energy disconnects the tether.
Right.
That's all it is. That your actual energy body is the actual source of it is not really into. That's why the ancestors made that, because they know more than these newcomers. And I'm just being honest. Hate, anger, and fear keeps us in the same cycle. So they are those who are Neo. True that. Is there a vision? True that. They do know. They know everything. And those particular ancestors are the reason for the chosen ones knowing all they know. In order for you to know anything, it has to come from somewhere. Because if you knew everything, there would be no need for nothing else. It has to come from somewhere. They do know everything. They know. Why do you think they told you the history about Tiamat? Because they know when all of this started. They know it wasn't like this when it started. You know, the Big Bang Theory. They knew it wasn't like this when it started.
Right.
How do you know when you're no longer in the Matrix? Brown butter. To me, I would say, I'm gonna say this, and I'll let you put together the rest. The main pillars of the matrix is the 9 to 5 thing. If you still doing that and you're working for another company and it's attached to bosses and managers being over you, and you're not making your reality is not reflecting what you truly can envision in your own mind, you're still connected to the matrix. Because that's a major pillar, and the religion. If you still believing that somebody is going to come out of the sky and save you, and you ain't seen it in all this time, and that King James Bible himself, he was a goddamn homosexual, but yet they condemn it in the Bible. If you still believe in that, you're stuck in the matrix. Because the whole Bible, yes, the Bible tells you many things that are relevant to the matrix. But essentially, what the Bible is a book of spells and programming. Because most spirits have not read that whole Bible like I have. Laughing my ass off, folks were in a supremacy. You better keep your 9 to 5 before you starve to death. Yeah, but starving is only a state of mind. Well, I'm out of the matrix then because I fired my boss in 2020. The thing is that all of the jobs and careers that they have, I'm gonna even break that down. You can think that you, again, I said this earlier, you can think that you're a doctor and you actually think that you're actually operating on something, but how do you survive without working? See, that's the thing. When you know that you energy, you don't have to do none of that. You have to be prepared to see the darkness because that's where you're going. Even when you think about it, Brenda Dudley, when you know what you know your energy, right? Energy technically doesn't need to eat. We've been programmed for that. That's a program. But if you are going to be in it and you want to live in it, you need to be, because truth be told, we're not even supposed to be eating meat because eating meat doesn't feed us. That's why if you ever ate the vegetables and the fruit, you can tell that they have like when they crunch, it's almost like static. That's electricity. That's what you're supposed to be eating because you are an electrical being. But most don't pay attention to that because you just think it's fruit, or it's sweet, or it's but it's actually electricity you eating. All is spirit, all is energy. Anything within this reality, why is it so hard for some of us to astral project? That one is it took me a long time, and I think I actually got some help from the ancestors to do it. Because you have to remember, it's a lot of deprogramming you have to do out of this system. Mm-hmm. That's why it's essential that you do the work, because at least you'll have the bases down. And for most with the FPs, it is very hard to astral project. It is, but some are able to do it without even realizing what they're actually experiencing. Because remember what I said, I know some of us have had wet dreams. And remember, when you have a wet dream, that is a negative entity stealing energy from you. And they call them, and I know everybody experienced it because they've tried to do it to me many times. Great, family, awesome show as usual. How were we chosen? I've been so different from friends and family for the past 5 years. Everything Danina speaks is true. 100% love to you, Falcon. Love to you. You know you're chosen because you come into that knowledge that most are not privy to. because most want to be stuck on calling names and I'm a woman, I got a pussy, I got a dick, I'm a man, you need to respect me, and all of this stupid shit when you ain't none of that. In essence, you're not the body, and you can't. That's another way how you really know you're a part of the matrix. If you still stuck on that I'm a body and I'm physical, I'm a man, I'm a woman, and you're not looking at the bigger, broader picture that you're actually energy and you're a multi-dimensional being. And when they say a multi-dimensional being, that is what I was speaking about earlier, being that you're not supposed to be rooted to these realities. You're supposed to be able to freely go to whichever reality you want to, but they didn't make it like that because they don't want you to leave it. They want to keep enslaving you and feeding off your energy. That's what they mean when they say you're a multi-dimensional being. You are. You're supposed to be able to jump to different realities at your own will. That's the way it was before. But they changed the frequency and they dropped the frequency to make you dense, which is this body. That's why it comes through as physical. That's why you're rooted to it. Because they dropped the frequency by dumbing you down. Thinking that you're just a body and you're a human. You're supposed to channeling the same. Somewhat, K-Will. But the astral projecting thing is not easy. You have to have a lot of practice with that, because when I first saw it, I was shocked. I saw all of them. They were light spheres and they were all vibrating. They were jumping up and down. I've seen it, so I know what you truly are. I know, and you know what was in the background? Darkness. And if you ain't ready to see that, then babe, I guess you're going to be coming back here over and over again, being recycled, used and burned out. That's all I can say, because at the end of the day, that's what you are. And I don't care how much you try to fight origin, how much you think that it's fictional, how much you think it's a motherfucking fairy tale, how many falsities you think it is. Facts are more stranger than fiction. Because in essence, that's what you truly are. You are a multi-dimensional being. You are supposed to be able to jump to different realities at will. You're not supposed to just be only seeing this for 50, 60, and 70 years. That's way too long. Think about it. When they showed you Avatar, that was a whole nother reality. It didn't look like this one.
That's true.
I am grateful to Sister Ardenina. Keep beaming that vibration and reaching out. People, peace, love, power, strength to be unity and light. Queen Morat Rogers. Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate your energy as well for appreciating me and understanding. Love to you. Because they when you say that you are a multi-dimensional being, that's exactly what they mean, that you're supposed to be able to jump to different realities. You're not supposed to be staying stuck and rooted into this one, working no 9 to 5. That in itself, going to work at a 9 to 5 just over broke, because that's what job means, just over broke. Don't most people who have jobs just over broke, you can't even pay the goddamn bills. And why would you even want to tag yourself as having to pay a bill? That sounds like slavery. Who created this matrix? Cole Gratis, the mathematician. Zeus, punk ass Zeus, hey Zeus, Jesus, Satan, the one that everybody worships in the fucking Bible. His punk ass, that's who created it. And he also helped create those white people to enslave you too. That's who created it. And they don't even have a soul. That's exactly who created it. The one that they worship. Everything is backwards in this matrix. Everything is backwards. So the one that you praising, oh, God is gonna save me, Jesus is gonna save me, he is coming out of the sky. That's the main motherfucker enslaving you. Because honey, if he even thought a slither that he gonna come and save you, with all these goddamn children, that's Pizzagate, and they cutting children faces off, you mean to tell me he ain't appeared? Cutting the child's face off, and the celebrities wearing it on a shirt to make a mockery of it, ritualizing it. And you mean to tell me they doing this on a whole nother scale? They've been doing this for a long time. Remember, they used to show all the kids missing on the back of the milk cartons. What the fuck that happens to them? They even show you that in some of the fucking animations.
Mm-hmm.
So you can think it's a game all you want to, baby, but you'll be stuck coming back here again, experiencing the same shit or worse. That's why it is essential to know who you are. It is essential. The ones who get it and the ones who vibrate high and they know I'm speaking truth, they know I'm not lying about it. They know I'm not. I don't even have to prove it to them because they know I'm not lying about it. They know all it is energy, and they know that. They know no motherfucking human body exists. In essence, a human body doesn't exist. Period. It's just a mental projection. That's it. And it says dense as you want it to be, because if you meditate, you can feel your spirit leave. You can feel it. You can feel the spirit actually lift out of the body and shoot through your chakra points. You can feel it. Huh? What did you say, Empress Elegy?
You're breaking up.
I'm breaking up. What about now? Am I still? Hello? Can you hear me? They probably interrupted it. Can you hear me? They interrupted the show.
Let me see if anybody answered in the chat. Is she nice?
I don't hear anyone. Can you hear me still? Hello? I can't hear you.
Yeah. Breaking up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can hear you. It sounds like it's breaking up some. But can you hear me? They probably messing with it. You know what that means. If they messing with it, I'm telling too much.
You right?
I can hear you. It's breaking up terrible.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, from now on,
that means I'm telling right. Too much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you can hear Danina, she's the one putting it down. So keep going, sister, because
everybody hear us now. We'll be back. Can you hear?
I can hear Lance, but Empress, you're breaking up. I don't know why. But can I get a confirmation if anyone can hear it or not?
No, I can hear you loud and clear. Danina, you're loud and clear. The chat room will tell us. Since they can hear
you. Okay. It's Empress Ella's line, yeah, because I heard her breaking up.
Gee.
But I'll continue. They are really trying to disrupt the energy.
Empress Elegy, leave out and come back in because Danina is coming loud and clear.
So I'll continue to speak. But I want all of you to know, like, it does sound, because trust me, when I did the research, I was fucking pissed. I was pissed. And if any of you know who Ralph Smart is, then you know he talks about energy all the time and being a multidimensional being all the time. You are right on point. I have been coming and going for quite some time, about 1,000 lives. I have lived on this planet. I'm tired of looping. Somebody gets it. Somebody gets it. Somebody gets it. They know, you can tell when you looping, because the same shit happens to you over and over and over again. It's just a different form. But essentially, you're still stuck in those same emotions. You do not stay happy long in this shit. They give you a little bit of happiness because they know they have to give you a little bit of happiness, because if all is just too bad, you'll question that shit. They want to give you a little bit of happiness just to lower you with the candy just a little bit. And then after that, they loop your ass back into terror again. Because they know they cannot let your ass stay happy. They cannot do that. That raises too much of the frequency. They want you on a low frequency, not a high one. So somebody, I appreciate whoever that commenter was. I truly do appreciate you, and love and much respect to you for actually noticing that, because it only goes and ties into what I say. This system loops you over and over again. Period. You can't argue with that, and that's why I'm so passionate about this, because yes, OMG, I was talking about this last night in Australia. Nona, hello, beautiful, hello. This is what I keep saying. People, these spirits think this shit is a game. It's not a game. Motherfuckers is actually experiencing this shit, and they can tell when they looping. What is it? Tia Wims, if I'm pronouncing it right. Universal respect. Everyone doesn't get or understand. The code ain't written in everybody. I would agree to that. But the code is available for everyone if you want it. That's the thing. That's the jewel. It is available. That's why all of the information is being let out now. You just have to look deep within yourself to really understand the code. And the main thing is, at some point in time, you are going to die. Even death itself is an illusion. So don't think that, oh, I'm dying is such a bad thing. That just means that you transcend the reality and you go into another one. And if you're really aware, you will be able to stay out of those realities if you choose and vibrate calmly. Because you have the option to do that too. That's why consciousness is all about being aware. When you're aware, can't nobody lead you the wrong way, because you know. And it's a difference in knowing than actually believing. I mean, you have to think, like, for people who are prostitutes and stuff like that, and they actually think that they have to do that to make a living, and they burning out their energy. You don't even know what type of other spirits you're intaking by doing that, because you just mix up your coded information with someone else's, and they could be vibrating way lower than you. Now what you think you carrying in you? Even with the sex thing, like, I just don't understand how. Even there was when we had this first when I had first done the live show, it was someone who spoke about that. I don't remember the commenter's name, but they did speak about them not liking sex. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh my goodness, it ain't only me. Somebody gets it. Somebody's spirit is actually understanding, and it doesn't like the vibration, because their spirit is highly aware that it knows it's not supposed to be doing that. And if you are going to do it, you need to have a spiritual tie with that one person only. It needs to be monogamous. That way you can make a soul tie. You know what you're getting with that spirit. Other than that, dipping and dapping and all that's no bueno. No bueno. No. Because that you're chipping away at your own field, not even knowing that you're weakening yourself. It's another program. Exactly. Israel A Vision. It is another program. Facts. Because you have to remember the whole human existence is a program. They don't want me to talk about that. So I can't. Brown butter. I want to talk about it, but they ain't gonna let me talk about that.
You can talk about it. We just won't say the name. we'll call it a different name or something. Because YouTube watches this channel hard. That if we speak about it by name or then it'll shut you down. I'm not fearful.
Okay, well I'll call it this. I'll call it the shot.
There you go. That's what you got to do.
Okay, the shot. That's another program too, and what that, because damn well that clearly that doesn't exist. Because if it did, don't you think you would be seeing with all the millions and millions of people that supposedly had died? It should be motherfucking funeral calls everywhere. Millions. And if you know how energy works, that ain't possible, because for all of them to die would mean they would have transcended the reality. That means that the energy flow ain't in this reality no more. And so what would that mean? Don't you need a battery to make the controller work? So if the batteries leave, what the fuck do you think gonna happen to the reality? It's gonna block the fuck out. So that's a lie just by knowing how energy works. That's why they never wanted you to know about the emerald green tablets. Because if you knew about that, you would know that cannot motherfucking exist. You would know that. So that, he says, I don't know, what is it, Brenda Doy? She said, I'm just gonna, because I can't really get of what gender it is. The name sounds like a woman, but she says, tell it, sis. That's the truth. She knows. Because if you know how energy works, goddamn well, millions of motherfuckers, there's no fucking way. Miss T Versation, correct. Just look at the obituary, the numbers don't add up. Exactly. And even if you didn't even look at the obituaries, just funeral cars, millions, you should be able to walk outside and see at least 5 funeral cars. To say millions have died? Hell no. There's no fucking way. And you know why? And you know why they telling you that? Because by you thinking that, you send a current of energy to manifest that reality. That's why they're telling you that. Everything is energy. Everything comes from a thought. Everything. That's all you are, is thought and imagination. You're a consciousness. That's why they hid the information from you. They don't want you to know that, because if you know that, then you can't manifest their vision. They don't want you to know what you really are, because if you know that and you don't tune into their bullshit, the reality is not going to exist. Their reality will not exist. That's why in the plane of Tiamat, they were free. They live in harmony how it's supposed to be. Not this shit. That's why I said, truth be told, if all the spirits came together, especially the blacks and the Latinos, because they're the true spirits, if they all came together, and if you watch that movie Alien versus Predator, and you seen how all of those black aliens was running up that goddamn pyramid, that's how this shit needs to be with the whole motherfucking reality. They need to be running, attacking motherfuckers for what you did. Period. Because to play with somebody's consciousness like that and you putting them through terror and all, and they don't even have to experience that shit from a motherfucker that comes on the outside of their consciousness, you're independent from another consciousness. You're not supposed to be living nobody else's what they want, their vision for you. That shit don't even sound right. You might as well just lay down and be a slave. You might as well just lay down and say, step on me, walk over me, and piss on me. And throw a motherfucking the match and burn my ass too. You might as well, because if you're gonna live somebody else's vision, what they created for you, and accept that as this is reality, you really need to check yourself, because you are truly vibrating really low.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. I can.
Okay.
Can you,
I don't know if
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
that obviously there are some that do get it, and that one that said about that looping, honey, I could just hug you to pieces, because oh my goodness, most don't know they looping though. Even in your lifetime here, let's say you live 40 years, you're gonna loop in that. That's the whole thing. They have to keep you looping, because if you don't loop and you start to see out of that, and you don't want that reality anymore, you won't be vibrating off anger no more, because you know you don't have to feed into that shit. You know that that's not your reality. And truth be told, remember, you're a multi-dimensional being. Some of us don't even come from this star system, or this light or energy system, however you want to name it as it relates to energy. But some of us don't even come from this system. So in essence, you don't even belong here. You've been led here, put in a perpetual cycle of looping, a trap. And some of the consciousnesses that are speaking about this stuff, if you really listen to them and you really know what you know, you can tell when they're lying and they speaking in code. You can tell. Because some of them are agents for the Matrix. You just have to have the discernment to know when you're getting the raw truth and when you're not. They put those particular ones out there because they knew that this time was coming when all this information was going to be released, and it's a way to confuse your consciousness, to put you in another cycle of this bullshit by confusing you. So it's a lot of mind games that these motherfuckers play, honey. They know what they're doing. And that religion thing, that shit should be dead. That we should have been dead that shit long ago.
For real. Give us a little taste of that. Because they don't get it. Like we said, you see them out in the street trying to convince you and bring the little tracks, and it's like they're zombies. They work on automatic. You know?
Yes. Just like for instance, because I saw this and it just pissed me off one time. It was a what do they call themselves? The Israelites. The ones that wear those purple shirts, the purple and gold shirts, and they be on the corners and stuff preaching.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you're supposed to be a man. And a man is supposed to symbolize strength, protection, and brutality when it's needed. And your brutality should not ever be directed at the woman you come from. That just doesn't make sense. But nowadays, they get mad at the women. The women ain't your motherfucking, especially the black women, they ain't your goddamn enemy. I don't give a fuck how much you don't like a motherfucking attitude. She give your ass attitude, nigga, because she know you ain't stepping up to be what you supposed to be.
Tell it.
So if she's giving you an attitude, it's because she knows that you are not in your rightful place that you're supposed to be in. You ain't supposed to be going to work for no goddamn white man. He don't give a fuck about you. Because at the end of the motherfucking day, he go home and live his reality peaceful. While your ass stay in the slums and hanging on the goddamn street corner and talk about God is gonna get you and he coming back. No, fuck that. You do that shit. You don't wait on another man to save you. That ain't no real man. All y'all gotta do is come together and take that shit over. Do brute force like they did. Remember, war brings peace. Cause guess what? When you were young and you had a bully to whoop your ass, that bully didn't stop whooping your ass until you fucked them up, right? Trust me, I had many of them because they thought because I was small and because I looked a certain way, I wasn't gonna fuck you up. No, fuck that. Enough is enough. John Alexander, I believe we are an experiment, the human program. Thank you. I always knew something was wrong. I am 77 years old. 3 of my children are gone. Why do I feel one of them are still here? I see some people. And you probably are exactly right because they probably transcended to the spiritual realm. And you have a spiritual tie to them. And that's why I said it's all around you. They distract you so much to keep you from looking at the spiritual. By going to work. That's the main program y'all need to break. That work and shit. Everyone needs to come together and say, ain't none of us going to work no more. Fuck them bills. Straight up. Because guess what? You do that, ain't none of that shit gonna exist no motherfucking more. Period. All of that shit is gonna be a wrap. Because the more you feed it, the more you perpetuate it. No one should be hanging around a goddamn corner talking about, oh, Yahweh coming back. He gonna do this, he gonna do that. Y'all Gentiles. Fuck all that. God damn it, it's time for you to motherfucking be a Gentile. Turn into a Gentile, do the shit they did to you. Don't feel no motherfucking type of way about it. They did it. I believe in an eye for an eye. And if a motherfucker can do some foul shit to you, then you should be able to do it back. If a motherfucker come up and smack you, you should be able to smack the shit out of them back. Cancel culture is in full effect. The matrix is going down. Yeah, it is. Taylor Vita Von Bomb, it just ain't going fast enough for me. I want this shit to blank out for real. because truth be told, I want all of the spirits free. If it needs to either go back the way that it was, where they was all living in harmony, I can get with that because that makes more sense to me. But this working shit, and you going to work at these jobs and these companies for another motherfucker to get rich off your energy, I don't agree with that shit. Why they take vacations and you gotta come home with a bullshit ass paycheck. You can't even. These motherfuckers want to give minimum wage should be no less than motherfucking $30. It should be no less than $30. With the price of living that these goddamn for a fucking 1-bedroom apartment is like $1,000. How the fuck you supposed to pay the rest of the bills and provide food and eat and clothing and transportation and all of that off 10 or 15? You can't fucking do that. That shit should be no more because at the end of the day, y'all are the motherfucking matrix. You make up the matrix. The matrix ain't shit without your cooperation. So when you understand that, and that's why they keep telling you, come together. They know how energy works. This shit will be over with overnight. They depend on you to believe that God is going to come and save you. If you still believing in that shit after all this time, and the King James Bible himself and that bitch was sucking dick himself, but yet he tells you he don't want you to be gay, because if you be gay, you going to hell, but meanwhile he can suck dick and get fucked. Hell no. There's no fucking way. Should nobody be. Everybody should burn their goddamn Bibles, if you ask me. Set a big ass bonfire in New York and throw all them bitches in there and set that shit ablaze. Because truth be told, you did all this believing in that. What has it done for you? I mean, I keep bringing up this story because the delusion of it all. I go to the dollar store and this lady in there, I asked her, I said, do you believe in Jesus? She says, yes, I know Jesus is real. Okay, well, Jesus is real, but yet you're working in a dollar store. We all know that you are not going to be able to make a living in the dollar store. We know that. But yet Jesus loves you, though. But he has you working in the fucking dollar store, and it's the best that you can get, and you're going to lie to me and tell me that you're happy. Knowing damn well you ain't happy.
That is true.
You see do you see the delusion? The delusion is real.
Mm-hmm.
The cognitive dissonance is strong as fuck to actually think that this shit is real, that you need to constantly work, constantly listen to somebody tell you believe in me because they wrote. Ain't none of y'all thought nothing wrong with that. Every corner you go to is a fucking church. Even that is weird. That should be telling you right there. Every corner you go to is a fucking church. It's like this shit is cramming it down your fucking throat. Anything that is forced, you need to question that. No one should be believing in that, period. Period. You should be way beyond that by now. With all this information being revealed, these ancestral spirits, they waited for the particular time to release all of this where it could reach everyone. And if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't even get any of this information. You would be stuck in a delusion. So if you come back here and you get enslaved, you have no one else to blame but yourself. They revealed it to you. What, they got to come down here and carry you like a goddamn baby? You're not a child. You're a fully aware consciousness. It's just if you choose to be. And if you choose to keep eating the bullshit, you're going to get bullshit. If you pick up shit, your hand is going to smell like shit.
That's right.
You have to look at it for what it is, not for what everyone. If you go along with what everyone is thinking, you're a part of the matrix. You have to have your own mind, and it has to speak to you. It has to speak volumes to you. What you know deep down inside in your consciousness. Truth be told, everyone wants to be happy. Everyone, because if it wasn't like that, then there should be no jealousy. How is the emotion of jealousy triggered? Because you see somebody living a certain way or have something that you want. Correct? Because if you were happy, then what's the point of being jealous?
Exactly.
Why I am a male MC guy said, why I am a green, what are you talking about? I'm not understanding what she's trying
I'm
to
not
convey.
understanding that either.
You don't understand it either. Yeah, I'm a little perplexed.
Somebody
But,
else asked the same question again. Who or what created the Matrix? I guess people are coming in late, so.
Well, I'll reiterate it. The one that you guys praise in the Bible, Jesus, Jesus, Zeus, God, Satan, they're all the same entity. Because the real God is you. You help to create this reality. Otherwise, if you didn't, why the hell are you here? If you're not the God that helped to create this reality, do you actually think one entity has the power enough to do all of this on its own? Do you really believe that? Because if that's the case, what the fuck are you here? If they didn't need you here, you wouldn't be here. Why do you think they want to keep your ass stuck?
Right.
Oh, so Empress, you get it, don't you?
I do.
Because I'm sure that could have flew over some head. But trust and do believe, if you were not everything, baby, you wouldn't be here. If they didn't need you, you don't need them. They need you. The only ones that y'all should really be thanking is the ancestral spirits that made this possible for y'all to understand and to send the chosen ones here. Because the particular chosen ones are not a part of this matrix.
Right.
And I'm one of them. They don't belong to this particular star system. They've been sent back here to help you guys wake up to who you truly are, to stop this terror and this torture. Because by y'all all vibrating negative on this sad anger, depression, fear, it sends ripples through the cosmos. And that blood sacrificing that they doing creates a portal and a rift to keep these negative entities keep coming through. Stop believing in these celebrities. They don't give a fuck about you. Period. They're parasites. That's it. Y'all shouldn't be buying no more motherfucking music. If you ain't helping to wake the people up and it ain't a positive message, y'all shouldn't be supporting them. Because if they cared about you, do you think they would be around here telling you to call each other bitch, suck my dick, and all of this shit?
For real.
Do the spirits have a race? That's a very good question. But I think like, look at me for instance. When I was explaining earlier today about, or earlier in the live conversation about this being planet Tiamat, the reason that Tiamat herself has made sure that I am the spitting, and I know y'all know who Kala Yuga is. She is another code word for Tiamat.
Okay.
And I am the direct spitting image of her. Literally. Because if you are connected to the astral and you connected to those ancestral spirits, baby, ask them who I am, they will tell you. That's a dragon. A direct descendant of Tiamat. Because we have the same vibration. Literally. All of this information is, when I found out all of this stuff, I was so fucking angry. Because when you realize that your energy has been played with and toyed with the whole time and you didn't have to experience none of that shit, boy, you want to rip somebody's motherfucking head off. Really, you really do. And when you come into the realization of that, that's why I keep referencing Satmet 7, because every time I think of her, when she says, "Oh, when that oneness happens, it's over," and that's what she's talking about. Because when everyone comes to the realization that they've been put through this shit and they don't have to go through this shit, they energy, and all of this shit was to toy with your energy the whole time and get you to create a reality for someone else to call themselves God when they ain't shit, you'll be mad as fuck. You done burned up your whole life force like that the whole time for somebody else to benefit off of you, and you don't even benefit off your own shit, and it's an illusion. It's an illusion. You can't take none of this shit with you. Period. When you are a multi-dimensional being, when you leave here, anything that you have owned, gained, worked for, all that shit stays right here. You don't take none of that with you. The only thing you take is your spirit. And if you are conscious and aware enough, you will be able to be aware of where your spirit goes. If you don't even take your own goddamn spirit, because your own spirit will be recycled back in this bitch to go through worse or the same shit over again.
Exactly.
So your whole goal, why is this being allowed? That is a great question, Nathan Nathaniel, because I've asked that so many times. At one point in time, I even got mad at the ancestral spirits because I even asked, why did y'all allow them to do this? But you have to think. I'm going to tell you why it's being allowed. For example, the guy that I got mad at in the beginning, Anthony Banks, when he said all that stupid shit to me, and he knows the message that I'm giving, and you're going to, in spite of that, you're going to talk about shit that doesn't matter. That's why. That's why. Because you have these spirits that are stuck in their own ways, and they just want to be fucking stupid instead of actually doing something about it as a collective. Because what is an ancestor? What can they do to you if you're gonna sit here and the knowledge is being given to you for you to make your own choice? Do you want to stay and be a slave, or do you want to be a free fucking spirit and go where the fuck you want to go and have your own motherfucking experience and live in harmony the way energy is supposed to live and not aggravated? They can't make you do anything. You are the one with the power. You allow them to do it to you. So therefore, when you allow them to do it to you, you create and manifest your own hell. Because there is no heaven or hell the way that they told you in their Bible. No one goes to hell and burn forever. How the fuck is energy gonna burn forever? That don't even make sense when you know what energy really is. It's impossible for energy to burn forever. Reese, how does one not be afraid or scared? Oh my goodness, that's what you don't want to do, because they depend on that. They depend, because when you're afraid and you're scared, that's a vibration. Don't you feel it in your heart? You can feel in your chest the vibration, and you can feel that it's lower where you're anxious, and you're sending out a vibration, a frequency. You definitely don't want to do that. That's why I said, to survive this, you have to be a fighting spirit. And that's what each one of those Mortal Kombat characters, that's what each one of them represent, a fighting spirit. Cabal is a character who got burned. His whole body got burned. He was supposed to be dead. He should have gave up, but he didn't. He was a fighting spirit. All of those characters symbolize something. And when they show you the robots, sectors, cyrags, they were experiments who chose to fuse with machine, which is artificial intelligence. And that's what the whole transhumanism agenda is about. So that you can be controlled, so that you don't have a mind of your own. They don't want you to have a mind of your own because they know you have the power to manifest things and you have the power to attract. Oh yeah, they feed off fear. They like sharks when they smell blood. Hit it. It's rarely vision hit it. That's why I said you don't ever want to do that. No, they feed off that shit. And y'all need to be really aware that promiscuous sex shit, y'all need to cut that shit short. That shit is not the jig no more, because that shit it weakens your aura. Key Will, what should you do if you want to quit work but are in a corner? I think that question is a universal question. I think everybody will want to know about that.
That's why
Well,
yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, it is. This is my take. At some point in this reality, the way that this is set up, because it's set for you to vibrate off of fear, sadness, anger, and depression. At some point, you're going to go through what they call the dark night of the soul, where you are not going to have a choice but to say, fuck that shit. I ain't doing that shit no more. I'm tired of doing that shit. And you make the best of what it is, or you choose to, you do the work and start getting very familiar with your true reality, which is that darkness. That's why they keep telling you to meditate, because you can actually see the vibrations through meditating. And you will see that every thought that you think, if you imagine something and you start thinking about something, you will actually see the light vibrating. You can literally see it. And your eyes can be closed and you can still see it. That's how severe it is. When they tell you, when the ancient ones talked about their meditation, baby, they ain't lie about that. I know about that because I do it every day. No less than an hour. It quiets everything down. It quiets it. The mind that you have goes all over the place. They call it the monkey mind, because the shit just don't stop working. It just goes all over the fucking place. And in order to quiet it down and be at one with your thoughts, be at peace and in calmness, that meditation is essential. Brown butter, I'm confused. Can you explain what transhumanism is? Transhumanism is where they want to make the human 2.0. They want to fuse the human with machine, so you can be controlled through nanobot technology, so that they don't have to worry about you thinking shit on your own. Now they could just program your thoughts with nanobots. And that is to have ultimate control over you. So you can't manifest anything but what they want. It's all to keep you stuck here and keep their reality going. That's it. And they want to use nanobot technology to do it. Because if you know anything about nanobots, they're very small machines and they attach themselves to different parts of your body internally. They even got nanobots that's able to go up your cerebellum and connect to your brain stem. Yes, it's that serious. That's why you can think it's a game if you want to, but while you sitting up here sleeping and think it's the game, them archons ain't thinking it's the game. They playing motherfucking chess. Your ass is playing sorry. So it's real out here in this reality, because these archons are not playing. They want to live. Their whole objective is to live forever. They don't exist. They don't exist in the etheric realm, in the astral realm, in the quantum realm, because they have lowered their frequency to drinking blood, eating human body parts, and they're rooted to this physical, what they call physical. They're rooted to that because you are their food source. That's why when you die, they cut your damn body up, drain it of its blood. Don't you see Don't you still do that when they be showing you those shows? When they have when you're in the mortuary and they drain the body of his blood, where do you think that blood going? That blood is going somewhere, otherwise it wouldn't be drained. Now would it? Because if you drain it something, you want to keep it for something, don't you? It's just like if you squeeze a orange and you drain it of its juice, don't you want to drink juice? The body would be a symbology of the orange itself, but you actually want to drink the juice. Correct?
That's true.
And that's exactly what they do to the body when you die. They cut the body up and they drain it. They drain it first of its blood, and then that's why they pump it. They pump the body with what do they call it? What's that? Embalming fluid after they've drained it. Because they know if you drain the body, it's just gonna look like a dead corpse. It's not even gonna look recognizable. John Alexander, when I wake up from dreams, I feel like I've been someplace else. I'm talking with people I used to hang out with 30 and 40 years ago, and I'm the same age I was then. Same rap. Yeah, because those spirits are maybe still stuck around this particular reality because they got some roots here. So you're actually because remember the old way of communicating was telepathy. These phones are the new representative of what you can already do as energy. You were already telepathic. They just lied to you and told you that you need the phone. When the phone is that's why they call it telecommunications. You are already doing telepathy. You are already doing that. So any technology that they make is fake. It's artificial. You can already do all of these things that they make up for you. They're making a copy off of you. You just don't know that because you're not aware of the real you. Zenobia Ridley. Haiti won the war when they practiced African spirituality. Now, most of them practice Christianity. Do you think their betrayal of their spirituality has anything to do with their present situation? Absolutely. Absolutely. They don't want you to connect to that, but yet they use it on you. They use the voodoo spirituality and African spirituality on you, these archons. But they don't want you practicing that. That's why they gave you Christianity. So your energy flow can go to that punk ass Zeus. So when you believe in him and you believe in Christianity, you are feeding the white people God because he created them.
That's right.
He has attacked them. Remember, they don't even have a soul. So in essence, you know, this is not me being racist, but at the end of the day, I mean, look at what they done. It's like, how can you not speak of that when this is something that they done? It's almost like it's like having a pink and striped pig in a room and without recognizing that it's there. We're not going to be able to do that because the base of it is that. That's why I say war brings peace. And remember, the law of the universal principle of cause and effect. The cause is they brainwashed you, wipe your memories of who you really were and what you could really do. And the effect is y'all take that shit out and destroy this motherfucking system by not feeding it. Because you don't have to physically do a war on them because you're not physical anyway. Everything is mental. You just have to make the decision to mentally not go for the bullshit and to mentally cut that shit off. You destroy their pillars, the reality is over. And at some point in time, you are going to, a lot of us are afraid to visit, and we think that death is so grim, death is so scary. But remember, you're supposed to be a multi-dimensional being anyway. You're not supposed to stay in these realities this long, no way. You wouldn't. It's not meant like that. You're supposed to be able to go freely, and if you can't do that, that's the problem. Storage greedy. Explain Serapis. Give me a little more detail on that, so I can know exactly what you mean.
Serapis is supposed to be the god that we are all praying to.
What, when we talk about Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's Zeus. He just goes by many names to describe himself. It's still Zeus, Marduk, Jesus, Jesus. They're all the same entity. They're all the same entity. The real God is you.
Here's his next statement.
Huh?
I just put up the next thing that he just said. He believes Serapis is a big part of the Matrix.
Of course. And this is where the energy flow is going to, because it's their matrix. It's the archons matrix. That's why they have you vibrating off of fear, anger, depression, and sadness. And the ones like me, because there are. It's not. It may seem like it's a lot of us, but it's not. It's not a lot of us. And we were the chosen. You know what they call us? We are supposed to be the worst generation. That's what they call us. Yeah, I guess we would be worst. Yeah, I guess we would be the motherfucking worst generation. We ain't going along with your bullshit. I'm definitely not, because I don't even respect authority, period. You call the police here, I will call him a punk in his motherfucking face and cut you out. Straight like that. Cause who the fuck are you to tell me what I'm supposed to do? I'm bitch, I'm scared of you. You didn't create my motherfucking existence. Why the fuck I gotta listen to you? And furthermore, I ain't gonna be calling you no motherfucking way, because I'm not about to invite you into my energy sphere. Period. Because when you do that, you invite them into your energy. I ain't inviting you to shit. You have to, because remember, you're attracting them to your energy. Remember, you got to know how energy works. They made a matrix around your consciousness because they know that they purposely dumbed you down. They know you don't know how it works. Who are the 144,000? Supposedly, they are the chosen ones. And that particular God in the Bible, he knew that this time was going to come where his reality was going to shatter. He knew this already. He knew. And he knows exactly who I am too. That's why I said, if you are attached to the spiritual realm and you can talk to the ancestral spirits, because there are some of us who actually have gifts to actually talk to them. Because I know that they talk to me, because you remember I told you I had that experience where she screamed in my head and said, "Get him out of there." Remember I told you that?
Yeah.
I never forgot that. I know exactly who did it. So don't you think I know I'm around the archon? Oh, I know who I'm around. He know I fuck him up if he ever try me.
So let me ask you, how come y'all wound up back together?
Huh?
Your archon.
Because He fixed this so because he know how powerful I am because of my vibration.
Okay.
He knows I'm a Titan spirit. So he fixed the matrix, my particular. He fixed my particular reality where I don't have anything. And so since you want to make me not have anything, bitch, you gonna do everything.
Okay.
Everything. So since you want to do that to me, I'm gonna flip that shit on you. Now, bitch, I ain't gonna do shit, and I'm gonna make you do it. That's why I was so fucking angry because I knew I wasn't supposed to have this experience that I had. I'd never really gotten into that because then I had to tell y'all a whole nother motherfucking depressing story, and I ain't trying to lower nobody vibration by doing that. I want your shit to be strengthened because I know how this shit works. Can you repeat the thing you said about regarding sex? Absolutely. So, like the celebrities, I'll use them for instance. Any celebrity that has fame and that has any type of notoriety, they have done some type of sacrificing to be that celebrity. You don't get that from nothing. The whole goal of the archons is to lower your vibration to its lowest low. And the only way that they can do that is to chip away at your field, your morphogenetic field, which is the energy field around you. They know you have one because they know how strong you are as an energy. They know this already. So the way that they do it is they use sex. That's why this whole matrix is so sexual. They use sex. Sex is another prime one that they use because they use that to weaken your aura field. And once you do it too many times, you're intaking too much negative energy, it weakens it. That's why you see so many people dependent on it. Oh, I can't do this because he won't sleep with me. Or I can't do this, she won't give me no pussy. Now you fixated on the physical, which is where they want to keep you. And then it's on a whole nother level because some of them are literal negative entities and you're intaking their energy inside of your own field. And that is definitely not good. Because essentially, the end game is what they do to the celebrities is once their aura field is lower, very low, they will put an archon inside of their avatar. And the weak part of that particular spirit that once was a whole spirit will be stuck in that avatar while the archon controls everything. While you just sit back in your own consciousness and letting this negative entity control your whole experience. And it'll just lower your experience, get you to do shit you don't want to do, and your consciousness has been so weakened it doesn't even have it doesn't have no more fight in it. So basically it gets you to give up on your light, basically. And that's the ultimate death. Because death in the physical doesn't exist. So when you give up on your consciousness itself, that is the ultimate. And that's the archon's goal.
Okay, Scrooge Greedy, I dropped the link so you can just click the link and come on in if you have something you want to say to Sister Danina.
And you know, the reason why I know this one is the archon because he tries to trigger me off anger so many times. But you know what I do to him? And you know what I do to him? I trigger him by making him talk about the reality because I know the bitch don't want to talk about it. Yeah, I use the same shit you use on us. You know I know what he is. He knows. And that's why I make
really
him the slave. I know how to deal with him. And I make him the slave. Now, since you don't want to do shit for me and you set the reality where I can't do shit now, bitch, I'm gonna make you do it. And you better do it. You better not come back without it.
So, in all of what you're saying, how does one know that they are dealing with an archon? I mean, I know you said they have a
honey.
soul, but
The so archons know it's a certain. In order for them to target you the way that they target me, you gotta have a particular flame. Gotta have a particular spot. Everybody don't have that, and my particular spot don't come often. That's why I am the spitting image of Tiamat herself, because our particular spots don't come often. That's why he's after mine, and he know what I'm gonna do to him. He ever try me. He knows. He know I'm a Titan spirit. He know that. And he know I don't let him feed off of me, because when you want to sit here, do you know I turn this shit on him and I get him angry as fuck?
well, we have Brother Scrooge Greedy in the on the stream right now. Hi, sir. How you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see how y'all sisters doing today.
We're doing great. We're doing great.
Yeah,
I can't hear him.
Sister,
You can't hear him?
Can y'all hear me?
No.
Can you hear me?
Speak again. Let's see if she can hear you now. Go ahead.
Can you hear me, Sister Nina? I'm speaking.
No, I don't hear anything.
Wow.
Okay.
Wait.
I know. I hear him. And he hears me. I'm not.
I heard someone. Oh, wow.
That's him. Maybe you need to turn up. Maybe you need to turn up your thing a little bit. I don't know.
I turned my volume up. Can you hear me, sister?
No, Sister Danina. Maybe she needs to be able to hear you a little bit better. I don't know.
Turn my volume up.
Yeah, can you hear him any better now?
Okay, I turned it up some.
Mic check, mic.
What about him? Okay, I heard that.
Mic check, mic.
I heard that. I heard him say mic check, mic.
Yeah, that was me. Okay. Good.
It's just going. It's going in and out.
I was speaking on the fact though, because I commented on Serapis, and a lot of people, I believe that a lot of people don't understand is that when they're praising Jesus, they're actually praising a guy named Serapis who became existent.
I'm not good at this. I can hear him. I can hear him, but he breaks it up a lot. I can't hear your voice, but I can't understand what you're saying because it keeps breaking up.
Oh, let me step into a different part of the house.
But I do hear you. It's just breaking up that I can't make out what you're saying.
Okay, what about now? Can you hear me now?
Danina, can you hear him now?
Yes. I can hear him.
Okay, Scrooge. She can hear you.
Okay. Now I had spoke on Serapis in the comments. The reason why I brought that up is because a lot of people were out there praising Serapis and don't know that they're praising Serapis. They think they're praising Jesus. And Serapis only became irrelevant in the Ptolemaic era going on in Egypt. And then what they did when they put that picture of Jesus on there, they gave us the picture of a man named Caesar Borgia. Now, Caesar Borgia was a thief, and he was King James's cousin. A lot of people don't understanding that when they praise Jesus, they are really literally praising a man, and they're giving all their power to a man. I wanted to go on there and get that information out there because maybe a lot of people don't know that they put themselves in the box. You're putting yourself in your own type of information. You can do that.
Can you, Sister Empress Elegy, can you repeat the essence of what he was saying because it was still breaking up.
He said he was saying a lot of people don't realize that when they praise Jesus, they're really praising Serapis, and he is not he's of course not a real person. Am I getting it right, Scrooge? Because I kind of stepped away.
Yes, ma'am.
You know,
right.
And so basically, the whole thing about the Caesar Borgia or whatever, I can never pronounce that last name.
Right.
But anyway,
Caesar Borgia.
Yeah. But basically, what he's trying to get people to recognize is that you're praising a man. You're not praising a supreme being, so to speak. You're just praising a man that was, created just like the rest of us. What, about 400 years ago? 500 years ago.
That's right.
He came into this existence just the same way that the masses of us with no would you say, extraordinary gifts, so to speak.
Well, energy.
He's a black woman, so he didn't come from a black woman, so he's not a real deity anyway.
Right. Energy.
Go ahead.
Energy can't be created or destroyed, so it's impossible for somebody else to create you.
Right.
Exactly.
So but that energy flow that they are telling that too when they say, "Oh, I'm praying to God. Oh, I'm praying to Jesus. Oh, I'm a Satan worshiper. Oh, I'm praying to Jesus. Oh, it's Marduk." It's all of that frequency is going. It's a frequency. It's a currency, and it's going to an entity.
Yeah. I just.
So
I had to speak.
that entity does exist, but it's not the entity you think it's. It's an entity that doesn't care nothing about you and just wants to feed off of you. It doesn't have the best interests at heart because it doesn't care about you. All it cares about is survival. That's it. It's a parasite.
Right. A GMO. Straight GMO.
Basically. Right, exactly. That's why everything it does is artificial. It will essentially be artificial intelligence itself. That's why I want to know everything about us, the you, because if it knows everything about you, it can know how to manipulate you.
Yeah.
And I'm
like
gonna say it hates.
It's kind of
hates.
It's fading in and out on my end. I can barely hear you.
I know. I'm having a problem barely making out what you're saying, but it's not free flowing.
It's actually breaking up for quite a few of us. Let me see if I can get one more person in here and see what the difference is. Nathan, are you there? Can you hear us? Nathan? I don't know, they came on, but they must have stepped away or decided to go back off. I'm not sure. Who was Nathan anyway? I didn't see him in the chat. I've been seeing everybody.
I heard
Nathan. I saw it. Okay, Nathan Nathaniel. Oh, he just came back off. Okay, or Lance took him off. I don't know. Okay, go ahead, Scrooge, if you have anything else to say.
Yeah, I just wanted, like I said, man, everything basically what Sister Davina said, she's right on point. I'm new into this far as like the awakening movement, so I'm starting to understand the vibrational frequencies that I've been having. But like I said, I wanted to just speak on that little part because I've been studying on it a lot lately. But a lot of people, I do believe that the reason why we are stuck in the matrix, we are stuck. The biggest part of it is this is because a lot of our needs to let it go. So you don't want to get on people to sweet Jesus, man. Because a lot of people right now is doing there right now.
you at once, and because you have started studying that, and once you know about energy, you already know that human bullshit and whatever comes with that, you know that's bullshit.
Right.
You know that ain't even nothing to focus on.
Right. Right. No,
all that shit is all that is that's just trivial energy. That's it.
Righteous. I'm with you on that.
Okay, Nathan, are you back? Nathan. I think that's him we hear, but I don't know. Okay, he just went off again.
So I appreciate him for saying that, because that part of it is the real meat of it. All the rest of that's why I kept saying, if you still on that human shit and you want to keep talking about, oh, I want some pussy and I want some dick and all of this shit, you don't even know what the fuck you even getting yourself into. You actually think that that's the way it's supposed to be, but that shit is stripping your aura field. You don't even know it.
Yeah, it's played out. Better get you some know about it.
That's why I say it. And before long, trust me, they don't want me here neither, because they know I'm the mouth of the motherfucking South, and they know I say what the fuck I want to say. I am the one that I didn't curse college professors out, they calling all type of bitches and punks and everything, and still pass the class.
Yeah, straight up.
So they know I'm not the bitch to play with, but they know exactly what I can do, and the only reason why I'm even here, because they know when I leave, it's gonna be a big ass change, and they know that.
I'm gonna be real big, and they ain't ready for it. They trying to run from it and everything, but there ain't no motherfucking where they can run to. There's too many of us opening our eyes and seeing the real.
Cause they thought that none of this shit was gonna get out. They actually thought that motherfuckers was gonna take this shit sitting down and not question this shit while you put them through a whole bunch of fucking terror and unnecessary pain. You must be crazy. Don't nobody have to put up with that shit.
They didn't even want us to be.
Hi, Nathan. Okay, Nathan, you have to turn down your computer.
I have to turn my mic on. Okay.
So they're saying, how does one know that they are dealing with an archon? I mean, I know you said that.
You're too far back. You need to just mute the YouTube. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready whenever.
Go ahead. Say what you have to say.
Okay, first I want to send some positive energy to everybody that's burned and, number love. I was, like last year around December, the day before my birthday, I got incarcerated and I did 33 days. And I couldn't leave. I couldn't get out of jail if I wanted to. I'm not a bad person. I never praised the justice system. But what I want to get to real quickly is I had, I felt like I was suffering. And I felt as God had given up on me because of the torture that I was feeling inside of the jail. And, it was this guy beside me, and he was, we was having a conversation, and I couldn't see him, he couldn't see me. It was a wall between us. And long story short, it got to the point where I got real quiet, and I felt like I was gonna die. And he spoke to me and said, if you was gonna, without me even talking to him or him even knowing, he said, if you was gonna die, God would have already killed you. And so that touched me. And so I realized, I started wondering to myself, who is this guy? And, so Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
And so I got to the point. I got to the point where I realized this person beside me is not a human, because how can they read my mind? And if I didn't know any better, I would say this person was such a god, you know what I mean, so to speak, because everything that was said to him, everything he asked for, anything he asked for, he got it, and he knew everything about you, no matter who you were, even if he didn't know you. So what I'm getting to, once I got released, the lady had took me out of once I got out of the what you call
The
it,
cell, the cell.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Once I got out the cell, I had to see what was that what was that was talking to me, because you know, I did 3 days in that part, and that person kept me uplifted, kept my mind from going crazy. And so once I got released from the cell, I walked past and I seen this beam of light, and it was like this human form, and it was shaped like a bird with a you know, like it had a you know, like a peacock. It had eyes all around it, but it was human form, and it was like all gold. And you know, I don't know why I saw that, and I felt like, why wait till I get incarcerated or I'm suffering to experience something like that? So I don't know what that means.
Well, I can say this. What you experienced and what you saw, that is not the real God. The real God exists in you. Anything that you see on the outside of you is something that's trying to manipulate you.
Well, it wasn't the outside. Okay, you say anything I see on that. Okay, so it was like
the outside. When I reference outside of you, that means outside of your consciousness. When you come into these realities, you're supposed to have your own experience, and you shouldn't have to be triggered to have to release some type of current emotion. You shouldn't have, like when you spoke about something about going to, didn't you speak about something about going to jail?
Yes.
Right. That is a negative vibration, because it's causing you to experience some pain.
Well, okay.
Energy doesn't know anything about that until you come into these realities and get programmed.
Okay. So
what I'm trying to tell you is that if you know that your energy, and when you really understand the basis of energy and you know what you are, no one can manipulate you, because you know you can easily disconnect from that shit, and you can easily tell when something on the entity is trying to manipulate you. Because remember, this matrix system is based on manipulation. It's manipulating everybody. The prisoners in the jail cell.
I know that don't even God. It's like a ventriloquist dummy, man. It really seemed like the person who's speaking for God is the one who's really God. If you praying and you don't hear a voice that sounds like yourself, if it don't sound like it came deep within you, more than likely it's not the God that you need to be listening to, bro.
Well, see, I felt as it came from the inside, but it was like a faith thing where I had to believe, because I didn't. I made the story kind of short, but you know, it was very long. And like the first day, we introduced ourselves, but I never seen him. And you know, I'm not in jail to make friends. And I said to myself, this guy's something like me. He got a heart like me. He love people. He hear people out. He ain't finna argue and go on the left side of it. And so that was like the first day. Then the second day, you know, we kind of went back and forth. And you know, if I was feeling like I was drowning in my thoughts or in my mind, then he'll say some things to pull me up. If I felt like he was drowning, then I'll say some things to pull him up. Then on that third day, the second day leading to that third day, he wanted to be left alone. And So I'm kicking this wall. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I didn't escape jail. And so I didn't leave him alone. So when I went to sleep that third day, he kicked the wall so hard. In my mind, I said, that's not a man. That's something else. And, so I stopped talking to him. I didn't talk to him anymore after that because I felt like, what is this? I didn't, what is this? I'm trying to get out of jail and I stay in jail. So when he kicked my wall, I knew it was something higher than me. And so when I didn't talk to him, he really started to get angry. But I'm not saying him in a state of a man or in a state of a person like flesh, what you can see. But so when it got when it came to when I realized this man beside me, because I said he was something like me. That's why I started talking to him and debate with him. And even I was trying to rap, and he was like, all you got to do is sprinkle a little bit. And it seemed like some of my mind just started wandering. And I was like, hey man, I got it. And I just started rapping. And, then I kind of thought about it afterwards, like, whoa, where did that thought come from? How did I get there? So when I got to the point of suffering where I felt like, I want to get out of here, I feel like the walls are closing in. I feel like I'm in prison of my mind. That's when I realized that wasn't a man, because he was because he had telepathically got in my mind and knew what I was thinking, and he told me if you was gonna die, God would already kill you. So I didn't see it wasn't no TV in front of me, it wasn't nothing in there. But once I got released, well, I'm kind of going too fast, but when I was laying down on the bed and when I was in that state, that's when I like stopped talking to the guy and I said, I don't know him. That's when I started to feel as if I was suffering. And when I was like, God, when I was saying in my mind, God, is that you? God, I know that's you because I can feel you. You're too close to me, and then you talking to me, but I can't see you. So once I got out the cell, I had to see what was this, and it's like the whole room. I wasn't dreaming. It's like the whole room lit up, and
hold on, just a second, sir.
Okay.
Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Well, he's breaking up really, really bad to me.
Oh, he's breaking up really bad. Oh wow.
Yes, I really didn't. I heard some things clearly, but
hold on a second, Nathan.
What is the synopsis of what he's? What's the synopsis of what he's saying?
That he was hearing. A lot of what he was hearing was on the inside of himself, but also this particular entity that he felt was in the.
Can you hear me?
Real, or was a little bit on the malevolent side.
It's breaking up really. I could barely hear Empress LG.
I know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's breaking up. It's not.
It's still breaking up.
Coming clear. That's what, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
That's why I'm not. I can't. You loud now, but it's still got that static in it.
Hold on a second, Danina.
That's why I asked her what was the synopsis. But even when she started talking, it was breaking up on her too. So I just want to know, for the people in the chat, did you guys hear him and her clearly?
I can hear him in here and out, though.
Can you hear